Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Game Day here at Heavy Cardboard. I'm your host, Edward.
Greg.
Ken. I'm Talia.
All right, so Talia, y'all might not recognize, but this is the designer. First Monday in October, designed by Talia Rosen, who flew up, decided, you know what? Thanksgiving weekend? Psh, that's fine. I'll fly on up this weekend and come on up and show the game. So I'm glad you made it.
Thank you. Yeah, I brought the game through security and flew on up. It was exciting to brave the crowds.
They let her on the plane with it. I'm just saying, with the gavel. So no, this is awesome. So first Monday in October, obviously designed by Talia, published by Fort Circle Games. It's currently on Kickstarter and doing really well.
Going well, yeah.
It's 3 more weeks.
December 20th.
Okay.
You got to get in by then. There's no pledge manager or anything. You got to get your pledge in by December
20th. Okay. Done. Stop. All right. So, that, and obviously Fort Circle is also sponsored today's stream. So big thanks to Kevin, everybody over at Fort Circle. I make it sound like everybody, Kevin. But also, seriously, Talia flew up this morning, brought 2 copies of the game, the prototype that you see today, as well as the older prototype, which Ken and Greg played on earlier. I was fortunate enough to play on the pretty copy. Normal caveats, rules, graphic design components, everything, all that artwork, everything's subject to change, but it's pretty close, right?
Yeah.
So, and Talia didn't want to play. She just wants to heckle. Her words. I'm not making this up. I'm just here to teach and heckle, and I'm all out of bubblegum. So, Talia, are you ready to teach?
I'm ready. Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. Let's get into first Monday in October.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, everyone. This is a game that's been in the works for many years, and in an afternoon, you get to recreate 220 years of U.S. Supreme Court history. So the game is divided up into 3 eras. You have your first era that you see here that covers the founding of the court in 1789 until the Civil War in 1865. You have your second era that starts in 1866 and runs until the seminal decision of Brown v. Board in 1954. And then your third era is your modern era that starts in 1955 and runs through 2009. The game is really driven by these 2 decks of cards. You have a deck of historical justices that is stack shuffled, era 1, 2, 3, and a deck of historical cases that again is stack shuffled, eras 1, 2, and 3. And the game's going to end when either of those decks runs out. And both of those is entirely possible. It just depends on how your play goes. Either deck is exhausted, game is over. So the players represent some sort of school of thought or institution that has existed for a very long time. At the beginning of the game, you are dealt 3 of these philosophy goal cards, and you can look at those, and they're going to show things like the Catholic Diocese, Universalism, the legal positivists, and they have different sort of philosophies that they want to try to achieve. You have 3 of those in your hand. Over the course of the game, you'll discard them, and by the end of the game, you'll just have 1 left, and that is going to determine who you were this time, all this while, in your machinations, in the back room, shaping the composition of the court and the outcome of these cases. So you're one of those working on this. The game lasts up to 15 rounds because there are 15 case cards in this deck. One of them's going to come out every round. Max 15 rounds, but if your group likes to remove justices from the bench really quickly, you
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They can retire, they could do whatever. You might go through the Justices deck in 12 or 13 rounds, so it varies a little bit, but usually about 2 to 2.5 hours if you're learning the game especially. So you have a random start player who gets the gavel right here. You guys want to decide your random start player while we're going?
Sure. We can bust that out real quick. Let me grab deck of cards.
We'll give that gavel out. And then on that start player's turn, what they're going to do is one of these 3 actions. They're going to take one of their 3 action discs. There we go. I want to know who to give the gavel to.
It's like Edward.
King Spades.
Wow.
All right, there you go.
4 cards. That was something.
That was
Okay, Edward keeps the gavel.
Yeah, there you go.
So at the beginning of the game, he's going to take one of these action discs and do any one of these 6 actions using it. Going to perform the action, resolve the action, then we'll go clockwise, and each person will get to do an action, and you'll go around again and again until everyone has done 3 different actions. Yes.
There you go.
At some point during the round, you'll use your supreme action disc to do a supreme version of that action, which is just a super-powered version of the action. And once everyone has done 3 actions, 3 different actions from their list, Then you get to the adjudication phase. And that's printed here on the board, all the steps of that, but that's where you're going to elevate new justices, appeal the cases, maybe score one of the cases, age your justices, and that sort of thing. So you do 3 actions, you do the adjudication phase, round is over, you go to the next round. It's nice, quick, snappy turns, maybe like a rondel game like Imperial or Antique, where you're just doing something small that adds up to something larger over the course of the game. So what are these things that you can do on your turn? We're going to go through those in order. The first thing that you can do on your turn is gather influence. So with a standard version of this action, you'll take 4 cubes out of your dish that you have over here, and you'll put them into your available supply. You'll go from your general supply to your personal supply. So if you've played El Grande or you've played any number of games where that mechanic comes from, you're going to use that influence in a moment. But if you do the supreme version of this action, that's pretty appealing. You're going to get 7 instead of 4. So what are you going to use that influence for? You're going to use it to lobby to become a clerk for one of the parties in one of these cases that's on the track here. So if you do the advocate action, which is one of the most important actions in the game, you'll spend some amount of influence, X influence, to take one of your clerks and put it onto one party of these cases. So these cases are essentially like areas that you're trying to control. There's Marbury, Madison, Cooley, Board of Wardens, McCullough, and Maryland. And when you put a clerk out, you pick a case and you pick a party, a side, that you want to advocate for. Ultimately, these cases are going to shift down to the end of the track. And when it gets to the end of the track, you're going to figure out which party wins based on the judicial philosophy board over here. So you have this board over here that is tracking the philosophy of the court, whether these various constitutional provisions are being interpreted more narrowly or more broadly, whether power is concentrated more at the federal level or more at the state level. And where those exist is going to determine which party is currently prevailing. And what you want to do is have more clerks on the prevailing party than any other player by the time it gets to the end of this track. So let's talk about these 4 philosophies here. These represent 4 different provisions of the U.S. Constitution. We have the Commerce Clause, which is Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. Fundamentally means, does Congress have more or less authority to enact laws? The second one, the Eagle, is Article 2 of the Constitution. That's the executive branch and the power that's concentrated or not at the executive level. Then we have free speech, the First Amendment, whether that is interpreted more broadly or more narrowly. And then the last one is equality and liberty, which is largely the 14th Amendment, but also other provisions related to due process, privacy, and equality. So where these sit at any one moment determines which of these parties on these cases is prevailing at that time. So right now, the Eagle indicator is in the gold. So the gold party on the Eagle case card is currently prevailing. But if something causes this to move up, we'll shift this to indicate that Madison is now prevailing in this case. So let's talk about advocate. When we advocate, we need to spend some amount of that influence that we talked about gathering in that first action. How much influence is probably the trickiest part of the game, but once you have a handle on this formula, you're good to go. It is first the docket level, which is either 0, 1, 2, or 4. So as the case gets further along, closer to being resolved, it's going to take more of your influence, more of your pressure to ingratiate yourself to the parties of that case and to advocate on their behalf. In addition, if the party that you want to advocate for is currently prevailing, if the philosophy that they care about is in their color down on this track, and the arrow is pointed towards them, it's going to cost you 2 extra influence because they're already winning. You're going to have to really put the pressure on to try to get in there to advocate for them. And then co-counsel is an extra +1. If somebody is already there and you want to come in with them, it's going to be an additional influence. It's just a 1 flat influence if anyone's already there. And so the results of this formula range from 0 if you're advocating for the losing side on a case where nobody is, it's a very long way from being decided, all the way up to 7 if you want to advocate for the currently prevailing side of a case that is about to be decided and someone else is already there. And that is the core of the game, is getting those clerks out, really predicting and shaping the outcome of these cases.
So if I can, just to make sure I make sure I understand the math. That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's winning if I want to be on the same side as Greg. That's now 6. And because Greg's already there, it's another 1, 7 to be able to do so. Got it.
Exactly right. And now if you want to do the supreme version of that action, it's going to cost you 2 more influence on top of that and a victory point. So you start with 5 victory points or renown points. The goal is to have the most renown for your school of thought or institution at the end of the game. And so if you spend one of those and 2 extra influence, you can get down 2 clerks at once. But scoring's pretty low in this game. Winning score might be around 40, so spending a point should not be taken lightly. So now once you have these clerks out on these cases, I'm just going to put a couple out here. So you've got 2 clerks here on Marbury, and you've got a clerk over here on Cooley. How do you actually change these tracks down here to make sure your parties win? And that's what the next 3 actions are all about. Retirement, support candidate, and law review article are all about making sure that the party that you are advocating for actually wins, so you get the points when that case is scored. The first one is retirement. So if you do the retirement action, you get to add one of these aging markers to any one of these justices of your choice. Let's say Alfred Moore, and then you're going to roll their retirement die, and if you roll less than or equal to the number of aging markers on them, they retire, and the symbol at the bottom of their track takes effect. So if actually Alfred Moore is a great example, because I put one on there, I rolled a 3 or lower on this die, and he would come off, moving the eagle down 1, which actually helps me, because I'm advocating over here for Marbury. That was random. And it all works out. So if you think about it, most of these justices roll this 4-sided die, and so the first time you age them, you have a 25% chance of removing them from the bench, then a 50%, then a 75% chance, and then a 100% chance. But in every era, the 2 justices per era that lasted the least amount of time on the bench in actual history will roll this red 3-sided die. And the 2 justices that lasted the longest amount of time, like George Washington's nephew Bushrod, will roll a 6-sided die. So they'll be more likely to last a little bit longer, just to give it a little extra flavor there. So that's the retirement action, and that's going to help move the tracks. So if I have these clerks out here, I'm thinking, how do I find these golden eagles to weaken the executive branch and these silver dollar signs to strengthen the legislative branch? So I'm looking at these retirement symbols for those symbols. In addition, I'm thinking about the support candidate action, which is how we decide which of these 3 candidates over here is going to take one of these empty seats. And so this is a simple action. You just take one of your clerks and you put it on whichever one of these gentlemen you think should be the next one to join. This also gives us a chance to play a little bit of teamwork, because maybe one of our players really wants these golden dollar signs. They go there, but they want another player to, they convince them to help them out. And maybe they're thinking about it for a totally different reason. They're thinking about the equality track. But when we have these vacancies, whichever of the candidates has the most total clerks on them is going to take that seat. And the justice is going to remember that you helped them out. So if this guy weren't here anymore and this person came up, they're going to remember that, and that's going to be helpful for you in a few different ways, having that influence on the actual bench. Now, if you really like someone here, you're going to do the supreme supporter candidate, and that's going to allow you to put 2 clerks directly onto one of these justices that you like. Maybe you like Smith Thompson, so you put 2 right there. I skipped over Supreme Retirement, and this is just if dice hate you and you don't want to have to worry about the die roll. You just get to add 3 aging markers directly to one justice of your choice, and then roll the die.
Right, yeah.
So that can be handy too. So those are the 2 main actions for adjusting this track. I'm losing over here on Cooley. I need to find silver dollar signs. I see Robert Trimble's my guy. I really don't want Henry Baldwin. So I'm going to go over here and support him. I'm going to think about who I retire. All that's what I'm thinking about here. Now, if the cards hate you and you don't really like any of the justices or any of the candidates, that's why we have the law review article action. If you do this action, you just get to pick a track and move it 1 space in either direction. And that's pretty nice. If you do the supreme version, though, you're doing
which is glorious.
A great law review article. It's a super book report all about this issue. You get to just move it 3 spaces in one go. Great. Easy peasy. No problem. Now, this law review article is a little funny because it's the first way that having clerks follow a justice up here onto the bench really matters, because when you do this law review article, if you have the most clerks on the bench in aggregate across all the justices, then your articles are +1. So they're either 2 or 4. The justices really care what you have to say because you did the most of anyone to get them where they are in life. If you have the exclusive fewest of anyone on the bench, maybe it's like this, and Orange
doesn't have any.
He's out of luck, doesn't have any clerks on the bench. He just can't do this action at all. The justices don't care what he has to say. He had no effect. This is not allowed then. So that is kind of fun. Then the last action will remind people of the Space Racetrack and Twilight Struggle for those people who've played that.
Ananda's in chat right now, which I'm sure he appreciates this.
Love that game, Ananda. And I've had the pleasure of working with Jason a little bit on this game, so I feel your pain. The rest action allows you to move up in the robing room, which will do all sorts of cool, fun things, just like in Twilight Struggle, but here you don't have to roll a die. If you do the rest action, you just move up on the robing room track and get to do some cool thing that is otherwise against the rules. So all these things are sort of rule-breaking abilities, and if you do the Supreme version, you actually move up 2 spaces and trigger both of the spaces, the first and the second. So let's talk about some of these spaces here. The very first space allows you to get a clerkship, which means you take one of your clerks and you put it directly onto the bench, onto any one of these justices of your choice. The second space actually has one of these robe symbols, and that's how you earn one of these.
There you go. Yep.
There you go. And that is going to give you an ongoing ability, just like on the Space Racetrack actually, that you have until someone else gets there and then disables that ability for everybody. It's out of the game.
Yeah, it's out of the game, yeah.
So this first one allows you to repeat actions, the rehearing action. So normally you have to pick 3 different actions on your turn. But if you have that robe, now you could do the same action a couple of times in the turn, which would be pretty great.
And both sides are considered the same action on the same row, right?
Yes, they are indeed. And this board is going to be improved. This is a little bit of a work in progress board. Okay, so then there's a space that lets you draw 3 cards from either deck, throw one out of the game, and put the other 2 back in any order.
And that's how you can speed the game up.
And that's another way that you might change the game. This next robe gives you this ability here to get an extra influence every time you gather influence. And then the last one I'm going to talk about here, and the rest I'll do as we go, is the emergency remand. I love this one. It allows you to remand a case back on this docket track so you have more time before it gets scored, which you'll see in a little bit why that can be so useful. And that swaps it with the case adjacent to it on the track. There's some more things where you can remove candidates, all that, but we're gonna get to that as we go. All right, so after everyone has done 3 actions, we've gone around, we've gathered influence, we've advocated, we've retired justices, supported justices, written our articles, then we're going to do the adjudication phase. In the adjudication phase, the first thing we do is we check if there are any vacancies. If there's no vacancies, we skip this step. If there is a vacancy, we take whichever one of these candidates has the most total clerks on it.
Better yet, let's say it's this.
There we go. Most total clerks on it, and they get to go up, and they have these effects on the track. So this would move commerce up 3, 1, 2, 3, and speech down 1. And they would go up into that vacancy. When that happens, whichever justice has the least support from all the players gets removed from the game forever. Ties are broken with the justice higher up winning ties. So if you want Smith Thompson on the bench, you know you're going to have to do a lot of work for that from the jump. You know it. And in this case, purple didn't do enough work. This is out of the game forever. The third justice will just stay where he is and will flip up 2 new candidates. And he'll get another crack at the bench the next go around. If there are 2 or more vacancies, we will actually elevate the 2 people with the most support. We're still throwing out the person with the least support. Always doing that. So a third of this deck is just out of luck. And then they'll have their effect. Now, if someone makes it into the Chief Justice seat here, we actually double their effect. So when the Chief Justice first was laid out, we doubled his effect. When he is removed, we double his effect. And all future new Chief Justices have double the effect on the court.
And Chief Justices don't slide or anything. It's strictly, if there's an empty spot, the first one in fills it.
Exactly. Which has been the case for almost all Chief Justices in history. It's been someone off the bench who's filled that vacancy, with Wenquist being the most famous modern example of that not being the case. So we elevate, then we appeal. Appeal simply means we slide all the cases down, we deal out a new case. At the end of the first round, nothing's going to reach this box, so we're not going to score. We're going to skip the decision step. But in all future rounds, something's going to reach that decision box, and so we will decide a case. I'm going to come back in a moment and talk about decision. Before I do that, when we age, that is rolling 3 10-sided dice and adding an aging marker to 3 random justices on the bench, which might lead to their removal if they get enough of these aging cubes on them. That's natural aging that happens. Then moderate is if any of these get too out of whack, the court is all the way to the end of one of these tracks. They're going to bring it back in a little bit. The Chief Justice is going to sort of moderate things a little bit by bringing all of these one space towards the center. The turn order just simply means to pass the gavel. And then we're going to check if the era has ended. If either of these decks shows the next era on top, we're going to remove all of the cards from the other deck to catch up to whichever era we're in now. And that is when everyone looks at their philosophy goals, decides which one they don't want to be, and they throw it out of the game. They say, I don't want to be Western Ranchers. No, thank you. Now you know how to play against me as Western Ranchers. You surely know what they believe.
Clearly.
And that's what the check era step is.
Yep.
And then we go to a new round. And it's just 3 actions. It plays pretty quick. It's just moving along, making those actions. Let's talk about the decision, though. So the decision is the most important part, because you want to win these cases. When this gets to here...
There you go. Yep, you got it.
We look at where this is in the track. We see that the Eagles, the executive branch, is in the golden side. This is pointing towards gold. Whoever has the most clerks on Marbury wins the case. If it's in the lighter colored, either lighter gold or lighter silver, then it's a narrow or regular victory, and whoever has the most clerks on that party is going to earn 3 points, 3 renown, and whoever has the second most is going to earn 1 renown. If it's a landslide, if it's in the darker colored silver or darker colored gold.
So the top 3 or bottom 3 spaces.
Exactly.
Okay.
It'll be 5 points to whoever has the most clerks on the winning side, and 3 points to whoever has the second most there. So now it's a tie, so they're going to get the second place points. And if it's a tie for second, you're out of luck. No points for that.
Because there's no third.
Down.
There's no third place.
Now, if there's an exclusive person who wins, has the most on the winning side, they're going to get to take the card and collect it for endgame scoring. That is really important. Often the winner is whoever's won the most cases, so you want to have the most clerks on the winning side of the case. You are betting on these parties, trying to get them to win the case. In addition, we're going to have 2 other things that happen when a case is scored. We're going to have the case effect, and we're going to have opinions and dissents. The case effect is a new law of the land that goes into effect no matter where people argued. It's all about which party won. So if we look ahead to McCullough v. Maryland over here, we see that if McCullough wins, everyone has 1 extra action the next round. If Maryland wins, everyone has 1 fewer action the next round. It's not about what the players do. These are intrinsically tied to the parties, the litigants in these cases, and the law of the land that will change based on the outcome here. And this is a little bit inspired by something like Founding Fathers, although I want it to be even more impactful on the game state, depending on how these things turned out. And then the last thing you can do is you can spend clerks off of the bench to write opinions or dissents. If you're on the losing side of the case, you can spend up to 1 total clerk from the bench to get 1 renown point and a little memento to remind you that you dissented.
You get a coffee cup.
You get a coffee mug that says I dissented.
And it's got to match the icon, correct?
Yes, you need a justice who actually cares about and thinks about that philosophy. So Bushrod Washington could write the dissent because he has an eagle. This is an eagle case. If this is over on William Patterson, can't dissent, doesn't have an eagle, doesn't care about it.
However, even though it's on the wrong direction of it, that would still
the symbol
suffice. It's the icon, not the color.
Exactly. Now, if you're on the losing side, all you can do is spend 1 for 1 point. If you're on the winning side, you can spend as many of these clerks as you want that have the matching symbol for a point each. So in this case, blue's on the winning side. Blue could spend 1, 2, 3 clerks and get 3 points if they wanted to. But remember what we talked about with the law review article. I think when people are learning the game, they often think they're going to do
points!
that.
Oh, yeah.
Get a lot of points.
Yeah.
They're playing the game. They get very attached to these clerks. But remember, the clerks get buried with the justice when the justice dies. They go in the tomb. So if you age Alfred Moore, if you don't spend these, and someone ends Alfred Moore's tenure on the bench in one way or another, then the clerks are gone. So you might want to spend them. It's up to you.
Yep.
Even if you're in second place here, though, Orange can still spend clerks to write an opinion. You just have to have presence on the winning side of it.
Unlimited number of clerks they can spend, even if you're not the highest scorer on
Just
that.
need to have some presence.
And
Exactly.
gotta have the icons. That's it. Yep.
Exactly right. And that's what happens when we decide cases. We award points, we award the card, we do the case effect, we write those opinions and dissents. It sounds like a lot, but we're going to show you in practice. It's pretty straightforward. And I think that's just about it. You're going to take 3 actions. You're going to do the adjudication. You're going to have up to 15 rounds, so up to 45 actions in a game. Usually less, usually maybe 13-ish rounds. You don't get all these on here. I know you're trying to cheat a little bit.
No, I don't need to against these guys. That's
You're getting
fine.
this free clerk here. We do start with some aging markers out here. We rolled these randomly for setup.
Yep.
We also dealt out 9 of the 15 starting justices at the beginning, so we don't know what the bench is going to look like, and it actually ended up being very
Moderate,
close, very moderate.
Yeah.
But you can have a game that starts very differently depending.
So the this here is directly tied with the starting justices that got dealt out.
Yes.
And it like Talia said, it could have ended up something drastic or whatnot, as it were, but it's not. So
We have time to get there.
oh yeah, all in due time.
Exactly.
Well done.
Yeah,
It's almost
thank
like
you.
you've been teaching this a lot.
Yeah. Well, I missed the Supreme Retirement, but we're ready to go, I think. I think that each game plays a little differently because we did remove 6 of the 24 cases during setup. We removed 3 justices from each era during setup, so you get a little bit of variable setup. And I think we randomly determined Blue's going to go first, take one of these 3 actions.
And just to make Kevin happy, the votes for women X's, they appear in every one of our streams.
It's a handy component.
It really is. And so now, if anybody is not able to do a law review, they'll get the red X's.
Maybe we'll put that in the game.
Yeah,
Put that right there.
All right, over under Glory to Rome's 6.5, I think. So all of us have played the game. We played it earlier this morning / this afternoon. I think I had about 15 of them directed at Talia, who was just brutal to me. Brutal. She really was.
I really was.
She relished it too. Let me tell you, it was it was something.
I had 3 at Ken by the end of the first round.
So it's what was it? You explained it to me as El Grande. You hate everybody you're playing with. So.
Yeah. The goal is you're going to have some tension.
Yes.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Start out with. So okay, things I'm thinking about here. So looking at what the current cases are, and by current, it's a couple of at least 1 round away. So we're looking at War Eagle here. Okay.
Yeah, you might be able to flip commerce using Robert Trimble.
Yep.
You got to make sure Baldwin doesn't mess you up, that Maverick there. I often like to go in on the losing side of cases. It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
But you got to make sure you
That-
can flip it. You got to think about the candidates. You got to think about the retirement effects of these justices. How are you going to go about flipping it?
That
All
is
very flippable right now.
They are.
Seriously, everything is tenuous a little bit, but I think what I'll go ahead and advocate. And Talia explained to us when taught the game to us earlier. Advocating is arguably the most important action in the game, and you should be doing it, if not every round, almost every round. And I took second and ignored that. So learn from my own mistakes. I'm going to go ahead and start out by advocating. So spend X influence and add 1 onto it. So which one do we want? I actually like the idea of getting on the side of Cooley versus the Board of Wardens. So the influence cost is 1. Plus, there's nobody on there, and it's not on the prevailing party, i.e. it's on the losing side. So, therefore, I don't pay that. I don't pay that. I just pay 1 to be able to place that out. So putting that up there, I pay 1 influence out. Turn done. Greg, Your Honor.
Cooley wanted to. You can go. Sorry, I was going to tell you the story of Cooley.
Yeah, make it.
Just before that, what is the case effect for Madison versus Marbury?
So if Madison wins, it just goes up 2 on the silver track here. If Marbury wins, it goes to the bottom of the track there.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can see the symbol now.
So there's a couple of cases where, and there's the inverse case in Era 2, but if you have the ahistorical result that would have really changed the course of history, then we set it all the way to the opposite end. So in Era 2, there's Korematsu on the Federalist side, and if they win, it goes all the way to the top of the Eagle track. So I like balance in these games. In this case, it's the very ahistorical result.
I was going to say, the real ahistorical, like the real that wouldn't work game mechanically would just be like game ends score.
Yes. I definitely, like, as someone who used to play Shahrazad in Magic the Gathering games, to be like, let's go play another one.
And Korematsu, that was the Japanese internment, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
But Marbury did not win, and if he had, it would have been a whole different world.
All right. So with that said, Greg, Your Honor, take your action.
Well, I think I will try and advocate on behalf of Madison.
You're a monster.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. You're actually
No.
on the right side of history, right? Yeah. Okay.
He doesn't want to deliver
so
that.
that's 1 influence, 1 person, but that is going to cost me 2 influence.
Just 2, yep.
Yep.
Which,
That's cheap if you can win it.
Ken?
So, as the third player, I'm not in a hurry to do the advocate action because these guys have already taken their advocate action. So, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do my supreme rest action.
That's always fun.
So, I will bump up 2 there.
So first,
I can add a clerk anywhere on the bench. And let's see.
Someone healthy.
I'd like him better if he didn't have an aging cube, but he does have a 6er.
Right,
so
that's a
little harder for him
6-sided
to
die,
retire,
that's
yeah.
a 3-sided die, that's a 4-sided die.
Let's go with Samuel Chase here.
The only justice to ever be impeached. And you also get rehearing,
And I get rehearing.
so you can repeat actions.
Yep.
have we really only impeached 1 justice?
Mm-hmm. The only Supreme Court justice.
Oh, right. I
Right.
know it's happened other.
Recently. A lot.
So Cooley wanted to sail his ship through Philadelphia without hiring a local Philadelphian to captain the ship for him. The Board and Wardens was like, you have to hire this ship, but Cooley said that, it's only the federal government that has that power to require me to do that. Board of Wardens prevailed, so you're against history here.
I'm okay with this. I'm really okay with this. So moving on for my second action, I think I could. Yeah, this is the right order. So I will go ahead and support a candidate here. So choosing only one, and Mr. Trimble.
He's your guy.
He's my homie. So there we go.
Yeah.
There. Cut. Done.
Hey, you know what? I don't mind that. I'm neutral. I'm neutral on that.
You don't hate it? That's good.
I don't want to force the retirement right now. Although that's probably the only way I'm going to get that to go up right now.
I mean, the expiration of Mr. Ellsworth here would help you a fair amount.
It would. It's +2.
+2. And then he could. Oh, but then that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Because Chief Justice is double, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
It's a hard fought
6,
position.
7, 8. That doggone hunt. I like that.
Yeah. That being said, I could just write a law review article. I'm not feeling like I'm in a super huge rush right now to try and adjust it since they're so close.
And to be clear, just keep working your way through it. Both Greg and I can do law review articles because we are not by ourselves in last.
Correct.
So Ken is all by himself in first, but we're tied for last.
He's
so
got those
therefore,
super large articles.
Yep.
The justices really care what you have to say.
especially Samuel.
Yeah,
Maybe you just move Eagles up a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, this seems weird. But I might just gather influence now.
That's great.
I
in doubt.
I felt like earlier I was a little short on influence all the time.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Ken?
Getting ready.
Yep. So, I know one of these is basically here, and I have to decide when I want to do it, but I'm really not in a hurry.
You could do it twice because you have rehearing.
I could do it twice. That is an interesting idea.
If you have the
He does.
Well,
Oh,
sure
yeah,
I
if
do.
he, Well, he does because Chiefy. over
Yeah.
there. McCullough versus Maryland.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to do that. I also would like the idea of getting more clerks onto the bench too. So I'm going to do this, and for free, I will support McCullough.
Okay.
Help him avoid the taxes. This was
Yeah.
a federal government established a federal bank. Maryland tried to tax it, and the court said that the power to tax is the power to destroy, and so Maryland cannot levy a tax on the federal government's bank. And you, McCullough, were the cashier at the Baltimore branch of the bank, I believe,
Yeah.
said, I'm not paying this tax.
Well,
And now you're sort of aligned with Purple, working together
Totally.
to empower the executive branch.
Yep.
right.
And
We
you
got a few turns to make that happen.
might want to...
yeah, so unfortunately, what I want to do works too much, does work a fair bit for them.
Maybe you turn off his rehearing ability.
That is, I basically ignored the robing room to my
Detriment.
detriment last
As we
game.
saw.
So I have two good options as I see it for my supreme action. So working my way through it. I think throwing two more onto Trimble would be a bit aggressive, so I'm not going to do that.
That worked against you last
It
time.
really did. It bit me in the
put
butt. I
all
learned.
your-
Sounds
eggs
like
and-
somebody who's about to retire.
That's what he did. He put 4 clerks on 1 justice. And I used my supreme retirement, and he was very bitter.
It was a very brief stay my clerks had there. Whereas retirement,
Yeah.
Chief Justice could just
Yeah.
Be
gone.
He would go.
That'd be good for
that
me.
helps all of us actually
Yeah.
collectively.
Helps you the most.
But really, priorities.
Sure.
But again, it's all of us. The other thing is, I could go ahead and get rid of old Bill here. So William Cushing, you'll notice that would drop that 2,
It would.
and it would still help me. It just wouldn't help me as much, but it hurts y'all more. And sure.
We'll remember that.
Yeah, I have no doubts that you will.
Elephant.
And last game he was complaining everyone was ganging up on him, but he
Yeah.
sort of...
Well, no, see, I've
asked
learned.
for it.
He does ask
I have,
for it, right?
I have learned the error of my ways here.
already.
Yes, 100%. So I think those are the main. It's that or
Yeah.
getting rid of his repeat actions. Now the other idea is, like Talia said, if I do rest, it stops, but I also get to add 1.
Which
up
means we
there
can give a
already.
red X to Mr. Purple.
That is a fact. No law review.
I mean, unless I also support a candidate.
But
Okay,
For the
decision's been
moment, you couldn't
made.
do it.
Decision's been made. I'm on the edge of my seat.
So there's gonna be a retirement.
All right.
So we're gonna come over here into the court, and we're gonna add 3 onto 1 justice. And Talia, who do you think it's gonna be?
I think it's going to be Ellsworth, so you don't burn all these bridges that fast. But knowing you, it might be Cushing.
I so desperately. Oh, I don't need to roll.
Oh, okay.
It's a supreme.
It's
not Washington.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It could
And
be Chase. I mean, getting rid of this guy would be fun, too.
it would.
I don't want to give you more options.
No, I hear
It
you.
doesn't
but
actually help you.
I really desperate. It just makes sense. It's going to be Cushing.
That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So Cushing. Okay, now then I roll, but it's already a 4-sided die, and there's 4, so it's an auto victory. So okay,
Yep.
he
You did it.
retires. There we go.
You rolled 4 or less.
So now it's going to remove drop 2.
And so you'll notice Cushing is undoing some of the effect he had when he got on the bench. So
Yep.
everyone does something when they arrive, and then undoes a bit of that, but they have a lasting effect. So he still has had some effect, but he's been undone now that he's left the bench completely.
And I did that just to finish the thought process on this was, yes, there is now a vacancy out there. And by the way, there is a maximum of 4 vacancies. If a 5th one, you can't remove them.
Once the bench is down to 5, which is the smallest it's been, you can't do the retirement action anymore.
Right. And so my thought process here was, obviously I want Trimble to take that slot, and it helps me. But the other thought here is, that one hurts both of them. And this one, it doesn't, I'm sorry, this one hurts both of them. This one hurts me a little as well, but I figure nobody's going to waste the action to try and beat.
Purple might be about to.
Well,
Edward.
you might.
Edward.
I could be wrong.
You sit to the right of me thinking, I will not take a
I
retaliatory
think it's time
action.
to demo support Mr. Baldwin.
The whole time I was like, that's a shame you chose that guy.
I know if you'd done the chief, you could have made Baldwin the chief justice. You're putting 2 on Baldwin?
Yep. So I'm going to put 2 on Baldwin.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I ran the risk, but that's fine. You know what? Trimble's going to hang out.
He's
So
gonna
it's
hang
okay.
out.
That's okay.
You could advocate again.
I could advocate again.
Oh, and one other thing. It's illegal to advocate both sides of a case.
Yep.
Right.
That's malpractice.
So, yeah, it's malpractice. So, like, for instance, Ken can't switch sides to Maryland. He is dug in on the McCullough side.
And there are advantages in endgame scoring to having different ones of these in front of you.
Yes.
Although I'm not likely to get this card unless I really dig in for it. But we're also going to be in a position where this is losing. That's an interesting idea. I could support the other side.
Yeah.
You can support the gold side, and we could
Yes,
we could double up.
Baldwin.
We can double up on 2 different fronts.
So I will spend 1 influence to support the Board of Wardens.
Because they're currently winning.
Oh, that's the winning side.
But they're about to be winning by even more.
Yeah.
We're about to be the
And
winning
maybe
side.
these Philadelphians do need work. You know?
You're saying this should be about principles?
No. Definitely not.
All right, I'm going to spend 3 to support the other side there.
Okay.
Boo, hiss, boo.
So that's it for the round. We go to the elevate step. We have 1 vacancy. We see that Henry Baldwin has the most support, so he comes up onto the bench, moving commerce down 2 and equality down 2, which actually flips that. And we look at who has the least support, which in this case is pretty clearly Smith Thompson. He's not going to fulfill his dreams of becoming a justice today. But we fill up the rest of this candidate pool with Benjamin Curtis and Roger Tawney. And now we move to the appeal step. We slide all of the cases down 1. We flip up a new case. It's Gibbons v. Ogden, one of the most famous and consequential commerce cases. We need to assign this. We see that Ogden is currently winning. So we'll put that there.
Every side is gold.
And now we're not going to do a decision in the first, but we will age. You're going to roll 3d10. See if you can roll some 4s here.
0,
2 and a 5.
So the 0 we ignore, the 2 puts 1 on John Rutledge, the 5 puts 1 on our chief, Oliver Ellsworth, because the seats are numbered here. And then if any of these were at the end of the track, we would moderate. They are not. Turn order just means we pass the gavel. And now purple takes the first action of the round.
And no check error because obviously we're still in the first error. So
Yes.
And also, I will say, Edward,
yes.
no law review feud.
Oh, yep. You are correct, sir. So there you go. See, I got the opportunity to show that off.
You did.
There we go.
Oh, that was very nice of you to do
well,
that.
team player, you know.
Player.
Great job by you.
Yeah. Well, I assure you things are going to change.
So Blue can't do the law review article action because he has the fewest clerks on the bench.
Yep.
Now, I'm
And
wondering.
if purple does it, he moves it by an extra one.
I'm wondering if I do retire the president now,
The Chief Justice?
Chief Justice. Because I don't want to Supreme retire him. I could just make it risky, which isn't the best.
You got a 75% chance.
Yeah, it's
you
pretty-
feeling
pretty-
lucky?
there's no way you'll roll a 4, right?
Well, so in this game, you want to roll low, because I always roll low in Twilight Struggle, and my coups are very unsuccessful. So now low rolls are what you want.
All right, so you need a 3
Or lower.
or lower. Oh,
You
that
did
would've been
it.
good. All right,
I
so
really wanted a 4.
That
I
would've been
desperately
tasty, yeah.
did as well.
So this goes up 2 because he's the Chief
Yep.
Justice. This goes up 2, and you guys are just the most moderate bunch of fellas.
We really,
I've ever
seriously,
seen.
right?
The last game we had like this all the way here. all
Yeah,
the way
oh yeah,
here.
it was drastic in ours. Yeah. We played it 4 players up here and 3 players downstairs.
Yeah, you said you weren't sure if you could get enough people on a Sunday, but then you said you had too many people to fit into a game, so we had to bring 2 copies.
Do the case cards indicate which side prevailed historically? No. And you explain that to us as to why. That's a
Yeah.
intentional
While
thing.
you go, I can
Yeah.
explain. Yeah, so there was a lot of debate about
Oh,
whether to
it's-
put an asterisk or an underline or indicate in some way which party won. I really didn't want the card itself to do that. I don't want that to affect the gameplay or how people are thinking about it in the moment. But there's going to be a really detailed historical supplement. So there'll be a rules document. And then in the historical supplement, I've written a paragraph detailing the history of each one of these 24 cases, including which party prevailed and what was going on in the case. Because some of these cases are just, I think a lot of them are so fascinating. Like the story of like the barbecue restaurant that was at the center of this case, or of like the third grade student who was at the center of this other case. So it like I wanted to share some of that with folks. Like about these Philadelphia captains of the Board of Wardens. So you will definitely be able to see that, but I really don't want it on the card itself.
So that you don't like, oh, I don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, and just like I wanted to build it, like you to be able to build a counterfactual narrative that isn't sort of tied down in the game. Is a blend between the theme and the mechanics are pretty balanced. Like these things are equal, like each side has an equal chance of winning. It's really how the players play that decides these things, and so it's not tied into the history. It's not on rails or anything like that.
Yes, exactly, Aaron. If you're familiar with Votes for Women, all the supplemental information that was included in that, it's going to be somewhat similar when this gets published as well, which is October you all are shooting for?
September is what we're going for.
Sorry.
Fingers crossed.
All right.
I'm going to support a candidate.
All right.
I think I might as well rip the Band-Aid off here.
There you go. Attaboy.
Get me in there.
Wow, really? Are you sure?
I thought you'd go for double on Tawny. All right.
Okay,
He's
wow.
got plans.
Okay.
Well, Tawny's not good for him in one place. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of great options.
I think that
Yeah, that's actually a fair point.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That alleviates what I was going to have to do. I was thinking about having to save that for this if I need to in my back pocket because I have the hammer. Technically, he has the gavel, but I have the hammer, i.e., I have the last action.
I wanted it to be a last player marker, but Kevin told me I was insane. So it's a first player marker.
Well, it makes sense because
Yeah,
the hammer,
but going
right?
last in this game is most powerful. It's
It
not
very much
going
is.
first.
Yes.
Well, I don't need to do that now, and that's going to shoot up there. So, that feel. Oh God, there's some. All right. First things first. Let's go and get in on Gibbons v. Ogden. So that's going to cost me exactly 0 influence
All right.
to get over there on Gibbons. And you said that is the most.
It's a very landmark Commerce Clause case that decided that that Congress had the power to regulate the waterways. That was a form of interstate commerce. That this was a steamboat that ran between New York and New Jersey, and Ogden's was trying to get Gibbons' business shut down, and you're fighting for Ogden to keep his business afloat. That was a pun. I didn't mean it.
All right.
So I could. That'd be funny.
And full disclosure, you are an attorney, right?
I am an attorney.
So
yes.
by trade, so it comes about honestly as far as the
Yeah,
the
this is.
theme
I'm
here,
not.
yeah.
I'm not. Yes, this is
2,
mostly a
3.
passion and a
Sure,
hobby, and
yeah.
like the law that I practice is not similar to this, but it is so fascinating.
I'm
I
gonna
think the
spend-
history is
3 influence.
Okay.
I'll like to get on Cooley, please.
coolly. Okay, yep. It costs 2 for the docket level, 1 because somebody's already there. It's the losing side, so it's a
Currently.
little cheaper. Currently, not for long.
Yep.
Yep.
Smart move. Use the benefit of their work to.
You're right. Yeah.
Totally.
Seriously. Yeah. Yep.
And that extra influence from earlier wasn't doing anything, so
Ken.
Yeah, thinking.
So Madison is currently losing, which would mean the court does not have the authority to conduct judicial review if Marbury won. And
Yes.
so this is such a fascinating case because it's about this judge that was appointed by John Adams as a midnight appointment right before Jefferson took power. And the appointment was left on Madison's desk, and Madison didn't want to deliver it. And so Marbury sued for a writ of mandamus. And the court decided that it didn't have jurisdiction to hear Marbury's suit. And so it narrowed its own authority, but in doing so decided that it had the authority to rule the Congressional Act giving them that jurisdiction unconstitutional. So they took to themselves the power of judicial review, the power to declare laws unconstitutional, and really set themselves up to be the arbiter of things. Back in 1803, but this was the court packing scheme of the Judiciary Act of 1801. Okay. It's that rehearing ability. Someone's got to go turn it off.
Yeah, that was already going to be me. So
Okay.
I'd already had it in my hand. So going there. So that
I'm gonna take
dies.
this, throw it out.
But going to the bench. So let's see, where do I want to put this? Somebody I don't know who's feeling healthy.
Yeah, healthy.
vivacious.
Someone who
So
has commerce. So if you lose here, you can dissent.
correct.
William
So
Patterson.
Patterson
Yeah,
looks
Patterson's
good.
your guy.
There you go.
Whiskey
That's me
Rebellion.
done.
I was like, or you could do here, and that way you and I are not gonna be.
Sure.
But then Ken's incentivized.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to make a big target. Go ahead.
Ken's.
And you've both saved your supreme actions for the end of this round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping Ken's not gonna be mean about it, but
That's
Ken?
I would
No.
not. Yeah,
There's
I mean,
no chance. Why would I be mean?
yeah. Well, so
This is crazy.
I
Like
go-
this
Yeah.
is so opposite.
It's very,
1,
very
2, 3,
weirdly
4,
tight.
and you go down 3. There's gotta be a better way. There's gotta be a better way to do this, but I don't think there is.
I think that Madison's in trouble.
Yeah.
But you can push it up 4, actually, and then they might not fight you on it. Right?
Yeah, law review.
You have super book reports. You can write a great book report about
Yep.
the executive branch.
No, I get that, but Ken might.
Yeah, but to what end? Like, yeah, maybe.
It's a race to the bottom, and it doesn't. It helps him by costing you points, I guess, by default. So yeah, but anyway, what's it gonna be?
I'm gonna write a law review.
Yeah,
All right.
try it.
But more importantly than that, I need to know what the name is of your book
Article?
review.
Oh, so this is for
1,
the.
2, 3, 4, because he has the most clerks on the bench.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what did you say this?
This is Article
was?
2, this is the executive branch.
Executive branch.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be the presidential right to yell at Marbury.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great.
To put him out of work.
Yeah.
Ken.
Yeah.
Just
You gonna
to,
take
to
that?
lose
I
his
can't.
appointment.
yeah.
No, I mean it is what it is. I'm gonna let
Oh,
that
by the
go.
way, those.
Oh, so now
those can
that
go
flips
away.
too.
Yes.
It
Yes.
does.
He helped you out.
Right.
Yeah. You're not going to push it down?
That's what I wanted to have happen. Was
Okay, right.
Wait. So my logic is Ken brings it down just to later bring it back up.
I could, but yeah.
You could also gather 7 influence, or
I could gather influence. I could keep moving forward in the robing room, which I'm definitely thinking about.
yeah.
Which, that wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Other
Supreme
side.
version.
Yep. Thank you.
So that moves up. So here for everybody at home. So he's gonna draw 3 from one deck and discard 1, and also the amicus brief.
Yep.
Okay.
So would you like to draw 3 cases and discard 1, so that you're like, this case is out? Or often people like to draw 3 justices, be like, I don't like this person's philosophy, they're gonna hurt me on one of these.
Yeah, I think cases probably matter more right now for me.
All right, and you can throw one of those out. And while you think about that,
All
you
right.
can
So
take the hammer.
I 100% was going over here.
Yeah.
But I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have the influence. So, I can't. I've already advocated.
That is actually also another good reason not to have done it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm not interested in supporting a candidate or retirement right now. Influence is the leader, but I can do a law review.
Yeah, you could flip commerce.
But commerce is going to get taken care of for me. It's already going to go up 6. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Myers. I love this case. This is about whether...
I assume you love all these cases.
This is about whether the advice and consent power applies to removal of presidential appointees. Myers was appointed to be postmaster, and Woodrow Wilson fired him, and he sued for like $8,000 for his lost salary.
Wow.
And Justice Taft wrote the opinion saying that presidents have all the power. He was the only person who was justice and president. Said presidents don't have to get a permission to fire people, and now they do it all the time.
I hate it.
Yeah, that's such an obvious thing now to think about. Like, yeah obviously.
But think about the counterfactual history if you needed the advice and consent of the Senate to remove someone who'd been appointed.
Oh, you know what?
Frustrating.
And in this case, look, if Myers wins, we don't have a cabinet appointee to remove, so instead we just remove the chief immediately as a proxy, or we just heal the chief, removing all their agent workers, which sometimes makes someone on their throne of bones live a lot longer.
So I've narrowed it down to 2 things. So I actually support a candidate to actually double up on Trimble, honestly, and that would give me super Booker reports.
He likes putting all his eggs in one basket.
Yeah, right. The other thing is taking 4 influence, which is never a bad thing, and we're gonna actually settle out on taking 4 influence.
So our least supported justice is Benjamin Curtis. He gets an early retirement. Robert Trimble is our new Chief Justice. He's going to have a double effect on the bench. He's going to move commerce all the way up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Congress can now pass all sorts of laws. He doesn't love speech, so he's going to tell you to be quiet about it. And we get 2 new candidates, James Wayne and Robert Greer, come out. We're going to appeal all of these cases and deal out our new Brown v. USA. This is a speech case about the Sedition Act, whether or not free speech allows you to call the president a tyrant.
Oh, so now both of those commerce flip.
Both these commerce flips as well. So now we went from all golds to all silvers. You never know in this game. It's a little like this old horse racing game, Royal Turf. You're just trying to bet on the horse that's going to win. Easier said than done. Madison's going to win in a narrow victory because we're in the light gray. So purple is going to get 3 points over here. The case effect is that we're going to shift the Eagles up 2 more, which is going to make it easier from a color to win. This is sort of this stare decisis or precedential value of cases where they make the next thing.
Yeah.
There's lots of reasons why I didn't.
Yeah.
I think he made a very smart play there.
If that had lost,
and now purple could spend clerks from justices that have an eagle on them for points. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any, but he will get the card for endgame scoring, which can be very helpful. He gets this clerk back. And now speech we see is in the gold. The USA is currently winning. And now we've done the decision step. We're going to roll 3d10 to do some natural aging of our justices. Let's get a couple ones here. 0, 2, 8. 2 is John Rutledge. 8 is Brock Holst-Livison, who wrote a great opinion about how if you're pursuing a fox, you have property rights. You don't need to actually possess the fox. Which it's a great opinion all about fox pursuit.
Okay.
You don't need corporeal possession.
Does it extend to other?
Yeah.
birds?
Like,
Okay, not just
if
the
I'm
fox,
reaching
right.
for your copy of Cuba Libre, then I think it's mine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
hold it.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Now we don't need to moderate. Nothing's off the end of the track. We do pass the gavel over here to Orange, who takes our first turn in round 3. So we're rocking, we're rolling, we're getting ready to decide about these captains in Philadelphia. Right now, Cooley's free and clear. He can just sail in and out, no problem.
Let's see. Well,
Hey, Kevin.
the one
Glad you could join us.
advantage of going first is that you get first crack
Brown versus
at advocating. Yeah, and so I probably should take that advantage while I've got it. And then
I
the
want to talk
question
about the solo
is,
mode. Rocky's asking about the solo
Yeah.
mode, and I will do that
how worried am I about it flipping to this side? Which side is the federal side in this version of the game?
Silver.
Silver. Okay. How worried am I about it flipping to the federal side? I guess a little bit, but not that much, honestly.
Candidates aren't a threat. So.
Candidates aren't a threat. There's not a lot of retirement that would move it a lot. So I think I need to spend the 2 extra influence to go in on the current winning side.
You think speech is bad. All right, so it's going to be 2 to go on the current winning side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Speech bad.
It is amazing how, for the first 150 years, most of the speech cases turned out against, with a much narrower interpretation of free speech than we're used to from the last 50 years. Throughout the early 1900s, cases were routinely decided that said that free speech is much more narrow than we would currently understand it. You couldn't print pamphlets urging the cessation of weapons production. You couldn't urge draft-age men to dodge the draft. The Sedition Acts were pretty limiting. So you're on the historical side.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of the only cases in the game that didn't actually reach the U.S. Supreme Court in history because it was decided at the appellate level before it got to the Supreme Court. And then the Sedition Act was overturned a few years later.
Cool.
So you're good. You're good to go.
So I appreciate you filling time for me.
I'm just going to vamp, yeah.
You know what? Screw it. It's 7 influence. Points. So, yep. So it's going to be 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and a point.
7 influence and a point. That's a lot of bucks spent to
So many bucks.
advocate for this bank cashier to not pay taxes.
I mean, taxes
Yeah.
are terrible. Go ahead. Done.
I'm gonna gain 4 influence.
All right, Ken.
I'm
What
getting 5 influence.
Oh, I like the way you said that. You can't let someone just run away with the rubbing room.
Yeah. I hate that it's falling on me with this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Not a fan.
Draw 3, discard 1 can be very helpful for getting rid of a justice that, for instance, has gold eagles or has gold dollar signs.
Well, no,
The problem is, oops.
Well, oops, all eagles.
No, see, I don't want that, but the problem there is that. But
While he thinks, so the solo mode is run by this deck of 10 cards that I've just recently, in the last 6 months or so. I say recent because the game's been in the works for about 10 years, but just in the last 6 months, we come up with this solo mode that has a 10-card deck that you're playing against, that you flip over 3, do 3 actions. They're related to these actions, and then you do your 3 actions in response, and it creates this really interesting puzzle where you're trying to respond to those 3 cards, where the solo bot is putting out clerks, then retire justice and elevate justices that sort of will help the solo bot's clerks.
That's the bonus one action.
So-
I definitely want that to win.
But it's inspired a little bit by the solo bots in things like
Why do you?
Imperium,
everybody gets 4
Undergrowth.
actions.
I know, I really want it to win. I'm for it.
You just like more actions?
I love more actions.
Even if I get more actions too?
Yeah.
That
So,
means you get one extra action, but your opponents in combination get 2 extra actions.
Yes.
Why would you get two extra
Philip
actions?
is
Phillips
gonna.
is
two of
gone.
us.
The only person to be
Yeah.
Speaker of the House and a Supreme Court
You
justice
get one extra action,
won't be in
though.
this
You get
game.
No.
We're building our own narrative.
Yes, we are. All
But
right.
the people who
done.
don't want you to win get more actions than you do.
All right, Greg.
All right,
Well, if you're
Purple.
teaming up on me, that's a problem.
We are teaming up on you. That's how this game works.
Oh.
It's 2 on 1 on 1 on 1 on 1.
All right.
Right. Seriously, Big. Thanks for filling the time.
Oh, there you go.
Right. Talia will bill me. That's good. All right. Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Well, I don't really want to support nobody, and I don't really want to retire somebody, and I am straining away from using other words.
Yeah. Killing,
Yeah.
murdering. Yes. Now, during our pre-play, we were a little more
Listen,
free, a little bit looser. Yeah, but
maybe
no,
maybe
it's,
I'll go as far as to say send him to a farm upstate.
yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Especially when we get to the people who are still alive.
Sure.
Anyway, maybe I just rest so I can get.
You would then have super articles. You'd have the most on the bench.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, I could just do the law review once. Is that enough for me?
That actually works out.
I mean, you don't have enough people
Oh wait,
on
I
the
don't
docket.
care. I don't care about that.
No, you don't have enough people on the docket. I hope you're planning to advocate. Oh, that's your last action. It's good. You should be planning for your third
Yeah,
action.
100%. Yeah.
So I've planned out my third action. It's my
Yes.
second action that I'm like.
I feel like the second is the hardest. You know your third, you know your first.
How do I stall
How
for
do I
time?
stall for time?
Yep.
I think that resting is a good stall for time.
Especially because at some point I want to be up here,
Yeah.
Sure.
and by not moving at all is
It makes it harder to get up there.
yeah.
Yep.
And
A
I
little clerkship action.
yeah, I don't want to go on anyone with an H cube.
No, so it's probably one of these two, right?
Yeah, and I guess I'm okay with the free speech one.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now, last action of the round. They always save their
So-
Supreme Disc for
Oh,
last
wait, no.
action. You never do.
Oh no, I have a money one already.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You might want to put this over here, though, just in case.
Yeah, for three
Yeah.
money points.
Yeah.
The symbols don't matter. what's
Well,
on
that
the
makes
bench.
this easier.
Oh! Are you super killing William?
I mean,
I feel bad that I just moved his clerk. That was...
that was a slightly.
this is fun.
It was a slightly more complex decision before that was the
Are you
second
putting
guy on
3
there.
on
Yeah,
William Patterson?
3 on William
Are
Patterson.
you mad at me that I made you move your guy over there? It made sense at the time. He's dead now.
No, he's not. He's going to roll a
It's a
4.
Just
Just roll a
It's a
4.
75% chance that I.
Categorically, it's not.
That is not 100.
Yeah,
I think I want
it's
a
gonna be a
4.
2 though. It's a 2.
It's a 4.
It's a 2. All right, so Commerce moves back down 2 because he's off the bench. He undoes some of his effect. But what I say to you is
You
get
get
this card
it back.
You get to have it now, so you can use it again. You're welcome.
Congratulations to both of you guys. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Well, all right. That makes
Wow.
that choice.
Yeah, now you need to support.
So
somebody.
now we will support. And so looking at Greer and James Wayne. So let's see. Remain loyal to the Union despite being from Georgia and his son being a general in the Confederate Army. Wow. Good for you, James.
And he would help you shut down the speech.
Also, Robert Greer plucked out of obscurity by President Polk as the 5th attempt to fill a long-standing vacancy. Well, I feel bad for Robert, but we're going with James.
Okay.
So I don't feel that bad.
Don't feel
for
that
him.
bad.
Done.
All right, and Purple has the hammer.
Yeah, so it's less exciting.
JT's a lawyer as well
to-
in
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah, nice.
To win one that's not in landslide,
but it's also not
it's
bad.
still a win.
It's still a win.
Yeah,
Because-
all the text on the justices is
Keeping-
flavor text. So you don't need to read
Yeah,
it, but I
but
love
I
it.
keeping
the
Yeah.
card
And I
is
really
nice.
wanted it to be big and
Yeah,
prominent.
keeping the card
and
is
like,
big time.
That's
You're
one
Mr.
of my
Keeping the
favorite
card
parts of the
lately.
game is that flavor text.
BIG, yes, the robing room or one-time
I'm also
one-time use,
considering.
except the leader gets those until somebody catches them, a la the space race
Yeah.
track.
I am considering going into Gibbons and trying to.
I think 2 on Gibbons is not a bad move.
Right. It's a little cheaper, but also
It's a lot cheaper.
it won't be that hard to get it to the dark area. But
Right.
Right, the landslide victory.
yeah. And which still puts me in the running for winning the card.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
Or I could definitely win the card
Yep.
right now.
Yes. How bad do you want the card?
Oh,
A bird in the hand?
That
you know?
math sounded right.
What might affect your decision is that the rules say this, but you don't have to treat this as a supreme disc. If you want to save the victory point, you can use this over here to do. You'll feel kind of bad about having screwed up your life, but you will get a cheaper version of winning this card, which is
Right.
probably the right move. In this
Yes.
way. You've kind of painted yourself into a weird little corner.
Yeah, if
Reference
that's the case,
heckling.
4, 5, 6. It's just going to cost you 7 instead
Only
of 9.
7 instead
Only
of 9.
7.
And you don't have to throw away a victory point either.
Yeah.
and I don't have to throw away.
Upside.
The don't have to throw away victory point is the
Yeah.
upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only you'd used the supreme disc somewhere better. So now
You
we
are
get
welcome
this guy-
anytime, Talia.
So you get this guy here, but that's great because now we elevate. Robert Greer dies, or just goes upstate. James Wayne gets onto the bench and moves the Eagles up. Okay, now we have some extreme positions
Oh,
here. The
Eagles.
president has
There
a
we go.
lot of power. We can't talk about it though. And, we get Noah Swain and Levi. We appeal all of these cases, flip New York v. Lemon up, and we have a narrow victory for Cooley because
Yes.
this is in the light gray. So we're going to have 3 points to purple, 1 point to blue. Blue's over there.
Thank you.
I just didn't want him to get a point.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
this
fair. That's fair.
Does move this up too, which will move commerce into the landslide for blue over here. And now we're going to do opinions and dissents, starting with orange. Do you want to write a dissent using? If you can, you almost certainly do.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
Yeah.
I don't love the idea because it would leave me
the
at
fewest.
sole least. But,
If Edward also doesn't.
Yeah.
right, if Edward also
He
does
might
it.
write an opinion. He might write an opinion. So you're freeing them up to do it.
Yeah, I suppose I will.
All right. So
Yeah.
you get a point
Yep.
and an I dissented T-shirt.
Yep.
Then blue. Would you like to write an opinion with this clerk for a point
Yeah, it's hard to pass that up.
when he rolls a D3?
Right, yeah, seriously. So, you can take your X's
I
back
figured,
off. Yep. But
just wanted him to have
I
one.
just wanted him to have it for a minute.
And then
that's
purple
all.
could spend either or both of these for points, and then you're going to get the card.
But having soul
Yeah.
majorities,
Soul First is pretty nice.
Soul First is pretty nice, and I don't know that I'm supporting Injustice anytime soon.
Okay, so now we've done the decision. We're going to roll the 3d10, but before we do, we have an era 2 on top. So we do something called Ancient Aging, which is sort of inspired by the tactics cards in Through the Ages. Any justices that are more than one era behind the current era,
And they're color coded, right?
Yep.
So the green ones.
S justices will
Yeah.
all
Yep.
get an extra cube before you roll this 3d10. And if you get up to here, you'll get to set one of those d10s, which could be very nice.
So we got 884.
884. So
8-8 sounds bad
is
for 8.
Cauldron. 8-8 is going to put Brockholston and his foxes up to his limit.
Up to the farm.
Up to the farm. He's bringing the foxes up there. We're going to move the eagles. It's already at the end of the track, so we ignore that movement. Speech, though, does get a little bit worse. And Brockles leaves us. Now, we're going to leave that vacancy till we get to the next elevate step at the end of the next round. So the court has often not had a full 9 people. It's had 5, 7. It's varied. So right now, we're going to be at 8 for a little bit. We are going to moderate because we're a bit out of whack over here. So we're going to move this back towards the center, this back towards the center, this back towards the center. This doesn't move because it's right up
already
against
at
the
the edge.
line.
Right. Yep. It's as moderate as it can get.
It's very moderate. You guys don't know what to decide there. Now, we are going to pass the gavel. And now, because we see Era 2 on top of this deck, in the check Era step, we're going to catch up the Justice's deck. It's not that far behind. We're just going to throw out Peter Daniel, Mr. Duel. And now we're in Era 2, so you're going to
He's
look
the
at...
murderer.
He did go to Maryland to commit a little bit of murder.
It's just a little bit.
You're going to look at your philosophy goals, and you're going to decide which one... So, just so I can show people, this is what they look like. They have 3 symbols. They show silver, gold, silver, gold. And that's what they're trying to have the tracks be at the end of the game. And you can win up to 9 points at the end of the game if you have it all the way in the dark end of the track for the ones that you want. So they've each gotten rid of one. They each have 2 left. At the end of Era 2, they're going to get rid of another one and decide who they really were all along. But right now, they're in the shadows. We don't know who they are. We'll find out a little bit later. Blue's going to take the first action here in Era 2.
May I get an exchange?
You want a 5-er?
Oh, fine. That's fine. So, to be clear, the stars are changing.
It's going to be more clear that this is 5 points.
That's
it's
a 5-pointer.
It's a little too close to the ones right now, but you can have it.
Yeah, just separate it out from the ones so that way you can
It's
feel
shinier.
special.
It is
shinier.
But we can see that purple is winning, so gang up on purple.
Yes,
Yep.
clearly that is the right answer.
All right, Blue, gang up on purple.
Okay, so
Wait a minute.
We could go ahead and kill Henry Baldwin.
Yeah.
that wouldn't be terrible.
Retire him.
Ken, make that happen, dude.
This is how Ed plays team games.
Yeah. He puts you to work.
Yeah, and then Ken betrays me.
Yeah.
That's usually how this works.
Wow.
That's because he.
Is it a betrayal if you ask for it?
And
That's actually a fair point. So looking at that, I think we can roll there. I think I keep wanting to advocate early to try and get in before anybody, but
It's so cheap.
it's so cheap. But you know what? I'll pay the extra influence. I'm gonna go ahead and stall
Okay.
and take 4 influence.
take 4 Asian cubes.
Yes.
That would be
Yeah,
the
right, that'd be-
move.
Well, the last game, he just tried to take points.
Yeah,
He was like,
that's
I'm going to take 4 points. I was like, that's a great action.
Bold move, Cotton. I know.
Yeah, just, take that move every time.
Greg. Oh, yeah, there you go. No, he's not going up to a farm. He's taking a bench upstate. There it is.
Not a
I
bench
like
upstate.
it, Rocky.
Bench on a bench.
Henry
Okay, go ahead.
Baldwin.
I'm gonna do what Edward did, but better.
But better.
Okay, that's fine.
7 cubes.
Okay.
If you take cubes, you can just make Edward actually have to decide.
Yes.
Well, also
plus
if you
1
take
action.
cubes-
Okay, yeah. All right.
You do what Edward did, but better.
Yeah, because he gets
Oh.
+1. That's.
He still gets +1. Wow.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I can only do so much.
All right, so I will advocate. I don't feel like it's often the case that you get the option
Yes,
on the new
especially
case
third.
as the third
She
player.
advocates.
So I'm gonna do it because that thing is right on the edge.
Yeah.
So surely I can figure out a way to get it.
Get on the side of New York.
Get on the right side.
The
yeah.
first of Lincoln's appointees might help you.
For all free, all free. All free.
This is another one of the cases that was decided by the New York Court of Appeals, which is the Supreme Court in New York State, and then didn't get decided by the U.S. Supreme Court because the Civil War broke out before they had time. It would have been appealed, but there just wasn't an opportunity.
That doesn't seem smart to me to do that. I am not
His
super.
move seems smart.
Oh,
because
his.
it's right on the line.
Yeah.
You guys are over here
I'm
diddling.
not. I'm not opposed to Noah joining the bench.
It's funny, you still have that guy over there on Tawny when your priorities have changed a little bit in life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you're on a Silver Eagle, you're on... you want this guy.
Yeah.
He's confused. He's
Yeah.
all over the place.
I mean, the speech would be
Yeah.
handy, you know. One day maybe he'll come in.
Yeah. I mean, Purple might want Tawny as Chief Justice,
Yeah.
because it would really be mean to Edward.
I don't know.
yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that.
See, I'm blowing up your spot here. I'm just like,
right.
all the
Chief
secret
Justice
things
is,
you're planning.
Chief Justice is
6 points down.
well, it's only one double retirement away, only one supreme retirement away,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause he's
even-
a
honestly,
short-lived
Didn't last
fellow.
long.
I'm willing to risk it on a regular retirement.
It's a 1 in 3 chance, my
That's-
friend.
I've had worse odds.
Not great. I don't like my position currently, honestly.
I mean, you're currently winning the next 2 cases to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
decided.
no, I get that.
But
But- I think
Pretty handily.
I think I hold there. Yeah. Again, it's super not sexy. Let's go and get
Turn
rid
off
of.
Amicus Brief.
Wow.
Wow.
You literally didn't help yourself. You just hurt me.
Well, no, I helped myself because next round I could do that and make it up there.
Yeah.
So I can't, but without using,
Yeah.
it's a stepping stone.
It's really nice to be in striking distance of emergency remand, but
That's all. Yes.
Because if you need an extra round on the case, you slide it back.
Slide it back, exactly.
If you're not there, and once you've used it, you're in trouble. And then you also get closer to borked, which allows you to just remove a candidate.
Which, by the way, I learned something today. So what was
Robert Bork.
Robert Bork, removing a candidate, and that's where it's
from his last name.
It's from his getting borked is a real thing. Like I learned something today about that. That's awesome.
That's my goal. But in our last game, off camera, someone sat right before the borked spot and just threatened it. Every time anyone thought about supporting a justice, they were like, "You sure you want to support that person? They could get borked."
John's in chat, and yes, he did a marvelous job.
It was well played. He won the whole game, right?
Yes, he
did. Just sat there with his bork hammer.
Yeah.
Eventually, you forced him to use it, which was good.
Right.
But because it was really like this, you said the sword of Damocles.
Yeah, it really was.
So
I could.
The challenge is finding the spare actions to get up in the roving room. When you have 3, you got to be advocating, you got to be gathering influence, and you kind of want to be supporting candidates. So when do you have time to do the other things?
You set the aging die before rolling. In fact, you set one and then only roll 2 dice.
Yes. That's what
for the
targeted
retirement is.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain the details of each of those in 4 words, but in the rules, I can assure you it's extremely clear how each of the spaces works.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to do it.
And then it's just a summary reminder.
All right. So if you roll a 1, this hurts me.
I wrote 4-1. Okay, that doesn't count because it left
does
the
not.
tray,
You
right?
are correct.
Okay.
Even if
More drama. More drama.
Yeah.
More drama. Whoa! Great job. Down to, is this a Glory to Rome situation?
Yes.
Up to, and the most importantly, we have a chief seat vacancy.
Ken saw the up to and went.
I mean, I knew, but
Yeah.
that was the right one to do because it hurt both of our cases. But
now you double support Noah.
what's that?
Double support Noah. He's your guy, right?
Noah Swain?
Yeah.
Is he my guy?
He helped New York.
He does help New York.
McCullough.
And I mean, Edward's the one that has to be concerned about McCullough.
He might double support Noah too.
Ken's got plenty of time to worry about New York.
But if he makes it more expensive, then if he flips it, then it's really
It's harder for
you
us.
guys
Yes,
to join
exactly.
him.
It's a better thing for that to be the case.
Yeah, what I think is
That that means no. Yeah, I know. Ron, I am trying.
let's see, not that.
Get borked when you take that action.
Not that.
It's implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take 4 influence.
Oh, God.
Pass. All right.
Save my big action for the end.
Yeah, so there were a lot of playtests over the last 5 to 10 years, and some where influence was an automatic thing that you got and not an action you had to take, which, like, there's some sense to that, right? That you don't make people do that. But on the other hand, I really like having it in there because it forces you to sort of figure out when you have time. You can use it strategically to sort of delay. And then if you play where you're advocating on these cases, you're not spending much influence, so you don't need to do that action as often. If you want to paratroop in at the last second, you're going to need to be gathering influence almost every round. You supreme gather, all of that to be one of these sort of last minute people. And some people develop a play style where they really like to get in at the last second, others much earlier. And the goal is hopefully that all of this is viable.
So there's nothing I can do to stop Ken from taking the majority on McCullough. There's nothing because he has 9 influence.
But I don't have an advocate action.
Oh, you don't? Oh, glorious.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
I do like that it has to be 3 different actions. So it's inspired a little bit by like Stephenson's Rocket, Tigris and Euphrates, Princes of Florence, but those all let you do the same 2 actions back to back. And I really wanted to force people to use different things. So
yeah.
Well, you can tie me if you want, I guess, but I imagine you have other things you want to do.
Tell you where.
Here.
He's already used his Supreme Disc. You're very.
God, I am oblivious. I'm glad somebody's paying
You're
attention
very
here.
worried.
I really am. I'm over here sweating it.
I think
So, in that case,
your move is to support Noah so that 20 doesn't become Chief
that
Justice.
is 100% what it is.
Yeah. Tawny as Chief is very bad for you.
Yeah.
Like, so bad.
Done.
I could retire somebody else, and that'd just be funny.
I'd recommend.
Yeah, he's
Baldwin.
about to do it.
Yep.
Interesting.
I mean, if I'm you, I think I'm thinking about Advocate, just because you don't
can't
have
retire
anyone
somebody
else.
else.
Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Advocate.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Advocate and
But I think a lot of viable options. You could go on the opposite side of one of these.
I might want to
Yeah.
suit to New York.
It is the cheapest.
Join in on
it's-
New York
it's
before it
one.
flips.
Yeah, it's 1. And it still allows you to have 8, which allows you to come in on this next round.
You're thinking ahead.
I just, because it's 7 to
Yeah.
get in the party,
Yeah,
right?
it's 7 to get in the party.
Yeah, so it's only 1 to join New York right now.
You just want those two to fight.
Obviously.
Duh.
I'm just seeing. He's like, hey, you two
go
could fight.
to the other end of Brown.
Yeah, I think that you could also flip Brown.
Yeah, I think I'd go to the other end of Brown and then
What can
maybe
Brown do for you?
do still go on New York next round. Oh,
It's only 1 to go on New York or 1 on
but
Brown.
it'll be a lot more to go on New York next round.
If it flips, and yeah, then it'll cost like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. So we'll just do the 2 for Brown. The
Okay.
puzzle.
This one?
Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
one.
Oh, it's only
actually
1.
Yeah, because you're on the opposite side,
Yeah.
And
and
not
it's 1, and
So
no
you're
one's
not
there.
council.
If you went
There you
here,
go.
it would be 4 because it would be 1
Yep.
plus 2 plus 1 is 4.
right.
I appreciate you, Rocky. Thanks.
I like the idea of having 3 clerks
Holy
on a
moly.
guy with a 6-sided die. So let's do that.
Oh my goodness. That is not good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
I think it's just barely
You
gonna...
better just
barely
barely. It
gonna
will.
get it. Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
squeak it in. That's fine.
All
I'll take it.
right. So we always get rid of the person with the least support. Levi is not loved. The one with the most support becomes chief. So that goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as Tawny undermines
2.
President Lincoln. And then Noah Swain comes here and brings it back up to, and brings equality up to, flipping things for New York. If you ever forget to flip one of these, it's just supposed to reflect the state
Yeah,
of the
just
stat,
do
so you
it.
just do it
It's
later.
no big deal, right? Yeah.
It's sort of like recalculating your strength. And through the ages, you just do it when you remember that, oh yeah, by the way, I have more strength than you. So you flip up your new justices. We appeal all of these cases. We go like that. And now we decide this case. It is a narrow victory for McCullough. So blue's going to get 3 points.
Yay!
Orange is going to get 1 point. Everyone's going to get an extra action next round, and Kevin went ahead and made these beautiful extra discs that we almost never need to use, but here's your extra action disc.
There we go.
Extra action disc. I love this.
And it's a
disc.
basic extra
It's a
action.
standard
Yeah,
disc,
it's
yep.
not a
Yep.
supreme.
And now blue could spend clerks from Eagle justices for
Yep.
points. And you could get 3 points right now.
You know what?
What?
We could, but I think I will spend 1 point off of Noah.
Yep.
please.
And you get 1 point for Noah writing an
Thank
opinion
you.
in
Yep.
McCullough, giving the federal government implied powers not explicitly enumerated in the Constitution. And Orange, would you like to spend any of your 4?
I'm going to spend 2, I think.
Oh, wow, you're going to get rid of the majority on the bench.
Yeah, so I think leaving this here with an aging die doesn't feel good.
And he's going to get an automatic cube because he's an S.
And leaving this here with 3
Three's a lot.
feels like a target. So I think I'm just going to get 2 points.
That actually, that's
Yeah.
good logic. Yeah, because
And who gets the card?
yes.
Then we put this over here. The National Labor Relations Board is currently prevailing over Jones. So we've decided that case. We're now going to age. Before you roll the dice, we are going to add an automatic ancient aging cube to
5.
all of our S's. Now, these cubes can't kill these justices. We don't want to have a cliff where they all die at once. So the only way a justice can die is from a die,
Go for it. Tell
whether
me.
that's these D10s or one of the retirement
Right.
dice. So we roll 3D10. We get 0, 4, 5.
4, 5.
4, 5 is Henry Baldwin and Roger Toney.
Speaking of target,
And we have a lot of people feeling the long in the tooth, but they
Yes.
are sticking around.
Sitting
We
on the
don't
throne
need to
of bones,
moderate.
right? Yeah.
We do pass the gavel. we are not in a new era, and now purple takes our first action. You're going to have four actions this round. Now it has to be four different.
Yes.
So people sometimes paint themselves into a corner. Their fourth action, they don't have a lot left. So think about that.
Yeah.
Plan to use your four actions. Now, if Maryland had won and the government did not have those powers, you'd have two actions instead of four.
BIG says, I swore to myself I wouldn't be kickstarting another game this year.
I'm so sorry to make you break your promise.
And by Talia saying she's so sorry, thank you.
Thank you. It doesn't count as 2024 because it's a 2025 game.
There you go. See, future you is going to thank you.
Yeah. Isn't it so exciting when it shows up and you're like, I paid for this a year ago?
You're like, it's like just, well done past me.
Plus, you can print out the writ of habeas ludum to give yourself as a holiday gift. Since it won't arrive in time for these holidays, Kevin will send you a PDF of the writ of habeas ludum, which I can't claim credit. This was Jason Matthews' idea, but it's the writ of seizing the game, and so that will give you the ability to seize the game when it arrives next year.
That's awesome. I like it.
And
Jason Matthews, I've heard that name. He co-designed something, didn't he?
yeah, he was like sort of second wheel to third
Yeah.
wheel to Ananda.
Yeah, something. I forget what it was. Whatever. We're kidding. Jason's friend.
Jason's a great friend. He helped develop the game. A lot of the good ideas in this game came from Jason. And the idea for this game came about while playtesting 1989 Dawn of Freedom with Jason at his house in Alexandria.
That's awesome.
Who are you getting rid of?
The gentleman at the end there.
James Iredell. Okay, he's all about a narrow interpretation of the First Amendment. So you add an aging cube. You have to roll 4 or less on a 4-sided die.
Okay, checks
You've
out.
succeeded.
Done.
Speech moves down 3.
Moves up.
Moves up
I got
1.
you.
Yep, exactly. And your turn is complete.
All right. Ken.
Made a vacancy for one of these fine folks. Pierce Butler, the first justice from Minnesota. Edward White, who fought for the Confederacy before being appointed to the court by President Cleveland. Or Benjamin Cardoso, one of the 3 musketeers that tried to uphold the New Deal.
Let's see. What's going to happen here?
What is going to happen here?
I really don't know. I'm not sure. I can imagine some things that might happen.
4 actions. Okay.
4 actions. Whew.
Yep. More complicated this round for sure.
Okay, that's happening. That's happening.
You just pick the 2 you're not doing.
Seriously, I think that's an easier way to do it.
So I could advocate.
I highly recommend it.
You want to know where he's advocating? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little bit cheaper if you go earlier, but then you are chipping your hand.
Right.
So there's
Yeah,
hopefully a
it's-
little bit of a push and pull there. You want to get in early.
Unclear.
You also might want to use it to
The
dissuade
money
people.
thing.
Like you put a
This
second
is
one on New York, you're
complicated.
sort of saying, hands off.
Exactly.
Let's.
Because it's expensive. It's nice putting 2 out there, but
I want it to be very expensive.
it feels painful every time I do it.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you're giving up the opportunity to get 2 on a candidate, or move up 2 in the voting room, so you're giving something up. Or that super law review, which is so powerful. So hopefully all of those feel pretty OP.
I hate that I only have 1 because they all feel super powerful. I want to use it to take the 7 influence, but so here we'll go ahead and use our fancy to take 4 more influence and stall, but it was going to happen anyways, so I'm fine with it.
And the only way you ever use that disc is if Maryland, in Maryland v. McCullough, and then there's one case in the third era, Nixon v. USA.
Yeah.
They can also give you that disc.
Is it when Nixon wins?
I'm guessing no.
The retirement was me stalling.
I mean, you said you wanted to keep up here.
Yeah, you don't want to fall too far behind.
I know, but I lied.
Yeah. Well, just like the only thing he doesn't do this round is going to be doing that.
Because like gathering influence is a good choice.
I mean, you know Pierce Butler's your boy, right? So.
Yeah, I know Pierce Butler's my boy, but I was trying to not communicate that.
Oh, you don't want to tell anyone. He's your secret boy.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's see, purple. Yeah, that's pretty obvious though. That because
Yeah.
the.
It did
free
not
speech.
take a hold.
No,
Did you figure that
no.
one
You
out?
want to know who's not your boy? That'd be
Benji.
Mr. Cardoza.
Cardoza.
But
Right.
you and Orange can work together because you both hate Benji and love Pierce, right?
No, we're on opposite sides of free speech.
Yeah, but that's true. But you're right. Orange is just in a bit of a pickle being on Jones and USA.
Orange is all over the
There's,
place.
there's so much time between when this happens and when this
That's
happens.
Years will happen.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing I'm thinking of too is I don't necessarily want to come in on Pierce because I kind of maybe want to just get a little something for jumping in on the Gibbons chase.
Yeah.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
There's a reason I took the extra influence.
Yeah, you got to be ready.
Yep.
Right. But I'm first.
Defense.
So it's things.
Sitting on a lot of influence when you are the last in the round is also very good.
Yeah,
when you have a hammer, you're
I
going to be
have
able to
learned. I have
respond.
learned you were a very good teacher via experience.
It's one of those.
Slap you around a little bit.
Yeah,
You'll learn
right.
I don't want to
Yeah.
just hand it to Edward, but
Right.
also, I also don't want to fight him for it either.
Well,
Yeah.
the extra influence or the extra action made that really, really easy for me.
I think your
this round.
options are hand it to him or fight him for it.
Yeah. It's,
Right. And I don't.
checks out.
You don't
Checks
want to
out.
do
Yeah,
either of
yeah,
those.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want either of those. So the answer is to just cry about it.
I love it. I'm hoping you'll both have to spend some points this time to resolve that. That seems
Yeah.
that seems like the best scenario to me.
Oh,
I
no.
reckon it does. but-
No, what I might be doing is I might be focusing on trying to just move that up next round.
Helping the speech. Helping Mr.
All right,
Brown.
Work now to work less later
Sure.
because I'll be last next round, so it'll be easy for me to
Easier,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense.
And after all that,
support candidate.
Okay.
Pierce Butler.
Okay.
All right.
that was the thing I
you got
suggested
there.
a little while back.
Well, so now that the cat's out of the bag,
Now that
I might as well get the
I
thing
blew
that's
up your spot, yeah.
Who's getting retired?
Our friend John
John
Rutledge.
Rutledge?
He was only on the bench for 138 days, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, speech goes down 2 more.
Okay.
Wow.
Ken, anti-free speech. Okay,
Served
noted.
Briefest tenure as Chief Justice.
Okay.
all the way down free speech. Cool, got it. Awesome.
All right.
All right, Blue.
Yeah.
Love it.
So clearly that's the right answer, but I still wait on that. I really do kinda. So bringing that in, that drops that there. We need to solidify it. You know, just a little taste. We'll go ahead and just boop. Done.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do this now before it gets removed from me.
Okay.
Law review.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. We have an article about how Congress needs more power and
Oh
we
yeah.
need speech rights.
Congress, give us power is the name of my paper.
Yeah.
By the way,
You just
law
love
review
Congress.
article. Yeah.
Free speech. Can I have a few more sentences?
Okay. By the way, I love that.
I
is-
told them they had to write the name of their article.
Yeah,
Anytime
you
they
had
did
to.
that.
Yeah, 100%. So.
Yeah. Interesting.
I've read so many law review magazines.
Well, when I taught this to the
Buddy,
folks at
come
a
on.
legal think tank in D.C.,
Oh
they,
yeah. This is.
they were joshing each other, and one of them, they write articles about legal issues to influence the court, and one of them was making fun of the other one and said, has any of your articles actually had this amount of impact on the court and what they think? No.
No.
I made the articles a little more powerful here than they are in real life, but for those who write them, it's a nice little nod.
That is a nice touch. Hey, JT, do you ever write articles like this? I'm curious. He's the only lawyer that I know that's in chat currently. So.
What I'm gonna do is wait, and then after you guys take the rest of your actions,
You're gonna take your okay. Sure,
That's
this one
okay.
time. Yeah,
No,
go
I
for
won't
it.
do it that way.
Yeah, go for it.
So I know kind of what I want to do. I just
Don't want anyone to know what I'm going to
and
do.
I don't. Yeah, the order really matters.
Boy, does it.
So you have your fourth action planned out. You need a third action.
I do that, but
So-
I have my fourth. I know what I want to do with both of them. I just
don't want to wait on them both.
Need us to not do anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't respond. He'll be fine.
Bushrod. What a name.
Bushrod Washington.
Yep. All right. Well.
I like that pain. As a designer, that agony is like literally the best thing. It's the whole goal. I want you to feel torn in two by the decisions.
I do feel torn in two. What are you even doing with your last actions? I'm so curious.
He might have to put it on Benjamin just so.
I mean, if your plan is to paratroop in and steal Gibbons, he's prepared to defend it, right? So like,
no, I've already advocated, so that's not part of it.
Right, and I am at best looking for a second place in Gibbons, but forcing Edward to do an extreme version of it to lose a point. Oh, you don't have to anymore.
I do.
All right,
You
I'll place one on Cardozo.
Wow, that's glorious. Wow, I don't even have to do the lifting.
Because they cancel each other out.
yep.
Which is both pretty much fine for me.
They both go. Oh, they cancel each other out, yes.
Yeah.
Unless someone supports Eddie, and then Cardozo's
in trouble. That's
Right.
But
Wow, I'll be honest, I never saw that coming. Maybe I should have. So you have it. I just don't think you're gonna. I don't. No, you need points though. That's the thing. So I think I have to save that for advocate. So the question is, I mean, and when does the emergency remand happen?
immediately.
Oh.
So those effects are immediately. You would immediately flip two cases.
So I want to.
Yeah, I keep thinking that one of you wants to double up here, get to targeted retirement, but neither of you's been in a position where the remand is exactly
useful.
what you want it to be.
Yeah, if it was right before it went in front of the court,
Like you could have potentially remanded this just to get this decided sooner, but it was risky.
Sure.
But getting up to targeted retirement can be very nice. So you might just support one of these candidates just so you don't fall behind on the.
I think that's exactly what I'm leaning towards, because the roving room I've already eliminated because of that. I'm saving the advocate.
Yep.
Or advocate. Retirement, I was tempted to make another spot out there potentially, or at least run the risk and really put the screws here.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
That's why I did the lottery when I could.
That is really tempting, but
Yeah, get rid of Baldwin.
that doesn't help me. It only hurts him. So
Hurting people helps you.
in a roundabout way, but all right. Last action,
Purple.
Greg.
Supreme.
All right.
You gonna advocate for something here, Greg?
Yeah, I'm gonna advocate for something.
Yeah,
He's not
obviously.
that into advocating.
Clearly,
Are we going Gibbons? Supreme?
I mean, all that does is help Ken,
It's great for Ken.
Great for Ken.
because I'm going to have to respond. I'm going to win that card.
Yeah, it's gonna cost me a ton of influence.
Yeah, so it doesn't
Just
make
nine.
sense.
Just a 9 in.
I'm paying attention.
I know you are. I'm just trying to vocally dissuade you,
Yeah.
so we don't have to have a race
And
to
I'm
the
just trying
bottom.
to be the troublemaker.
I-
I don't know what's
100%.
wrong with that. So you're going on New York
Advocate.
then?
Yeah, where are you going?
I think I'm going on New York. I was gonna go to 11, try to fight it again, do a tug of war.
So it costs
Okay.
6
I
to
don't-
go under New York.
I don't like tug of wars.
Yeah.
6 and a point.
1, 2,
Yeah, the points.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 and a point. You don't need points. There was a point last game where Edward had 4. Like after an hour, he had less than he started with.
Yeah, you know how I know that? Talia pointed it out to
He
me.
pointed out.
And who finished
sorry.
with more points, Talia?
Okay, you did, but there were extenuating circumstances.
All right. So then, I think doing this action's no good.
Why is it no
can't
good? See, you remand this up. You win without him having a chance.
Yeah, but
to...
Edward goes after me.
Yeah, but you also get access to targeted retirement. I don't think he's gonna. You think he's gonna respond by roving?
I would if I were him.
It means he hasn't advocated the entire round, which is it's bad.
It's bad. but it's probably better than letting this hang out for another turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tempted to do it, but I think what
Can
I'll
you just write an
do,
article? Yeah.
what I'll do instead is just shore up
Speech.
speech. Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3. So what is your article called?
I'd say something about why the states should have the right to restrict.
Yeah.
The
Or how about just
speech
like
of-
everyone be quiet?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Everyone be quiet. Colon.
Yeah.
Why states should.
Why states? Yeah. Now you know. It's gotta have the colon.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yes, John, you won. Yes, you did.
Way to go, John.
All right. Well, since that's the case, I'll go ahead and advocate.
Yeah.
Feels like the right thing to do.
You go in on.
Yeah, 100%. So that's going to
No,
be
he did all the
2,
work.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a point.
7 and a point. Big money.
No whammies.
He's throwing it around.
Just spend it if you got it.
Wow. It's a
Done.
lot. Round is over.
Oh boy! And here, can I
Watch
have
me.
those?
Yes, the case's discs are gone.
Okay.
We now elevate Benjamin Cardozo, who has the most support.
Don't bother moving them because they're going to offset.
No, it matters. So that goes down. Oh, 1.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It does
Yep.
matter a little bit. And
Goes
that goes
up
up
two.
because the most support goes first.
Okay.
And then that goes up 2, and that goes down 2.
You are correct.
Just barely.
You are correct.
We get
1.
No,
Queen
you're
in,
right.
That's 1.
You're right.
Charles Hughes, Felix and his happy hot dogs, and Melville Fuller and his striking down of the income tax.
Okay.
Okay, we move these. We deal out Rosen v. U.S. We'll talk about that case in a minute.
Yeah.
Gibbons is going to win in a narrow victory. 3 points for Edward.
Yeah.
Guys, it's not working out. You want a 5?
Yeah. Why
All
not?
right,
So
put back
I'll give
2.
up 2. Thank you.
There's no case effect when Gibbons wins, but you could write an opinion using anyone with a $sign. You could spend Benjamin. It would put you down to the exclusive fewest on the bench.
It would. So let's see.
There's a chance that it might not be the exclusive fluid.
Yeah, I feel that. I will. We'll go ahead and take that off of
Okay, you've
Cardozo.
learned. You're spending them
Yes.
for points.
Yes.
I like it. Now we're going to age, so we're going to find our era S justices, and they're going to get a little bit older.
Throne of Bones.
Washington still isn't a guarantee.
No. We're going to roll 3d10. No one gets to set a die yet.
5, 5, 8.
Oh, Tawny feels older. Boom, boom. And Noah. So we still have a few of these old guys sticking around, trying to decide some things. We don't need to moderate. We do need to pass the gavel. And Orange takes the first turn of the round.
All right. Cruising along.
Yep.
We're getting towards the end of Era 2 here. Coming up on the early 1900s. So the least important case of the 24 from a jurisprudential perspective, but the one that has my name in it, Rosen.
All right. No relation, though, right?
No relation that
Okay.
I know of, but
All right,
it was a
okay.
man named Lou Rosen, L-E-W Rosen, who sent some naked pictures in the mail. They were covered with lamp black, so you had to use a piece of bread to kind of see what was underneath. And there's a whole paragraph about this in the historical supplement that you're going to want to read. But turns out it wasn't allowed, and he was sentenced to, I think, 13 months of hard labor for this use of his speech.
All right.
Now, if you do vindicate my long-lost Lou Rosen, you'll all get 5 influence, because your speech rights will be more expansive. You'll have a lot more room to maneuver.
Yeah.
If the USA shuts you down, you're going to lose up to 5 influence.
Well, I'm not sure what time it started after the teach. I apologize.
And I'm doing a lot of rambling. so
Yeah, no, we're having fun.
Let's see.
We'll go over 2 hours for sure. You can do it in 2 hours.
Without honestly, it'd probably be 90 to maybe an hour 45.
Yep.
If it were just the 3 of us sitting down playing, it would not be this long. But we're just ambling along. Apologies,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yep.
We're doing the extended cut.
Yes.
The director's cut.
There you go.
All right. Let's try for a retirement, I think. None of them are appealing. Okay. Well, I do want that to happen.
I mean, killing purple clerks is appealing, right?
Killing purple clerks is appealing. It doesn't help me in other ways, though. Would love to get that $sign down to the gold by the time this happens.
Okay.
So, let's work on that.
Yeah, super article.
There we go.
You are tied for the most clerks on the bench. You read an article about how Congress is maybe a little bit too expansive in its interpretation of Article 1,
Yep.
Section 8.
I like that. I think that is a fair statement. So, looking at these, I'm okay with. I don't want that to happen. That I don't mind happening. So therefore, don't want that. Don't want that
You
there.
can give blue the X's, just for fun.
Oh, that is me, isn't it? Okay, well, there goes that idea. But I think what we will go ahead and do is...
Oh, you could retire the chief, and then...
Where is it? It's
I like how everyone else wants them to do these things for them. They're
Yes.
like, hey, what if
Yeah.
you do this thing on my
Totally.
behalf?
We don't need the IRS. Go, Greg.
No income tax for you. Yeah, so Melville Fuller did write the opinion striking down the income tax, which then led to the Constitution being amended to specifically allow for an income tax.
I could super retire the chief, and then he's just gone.
Yep,
You could.
it'll be fun.
Only bumps things up 2, though, which isn't a lot.
No, and then Melville's going to come in and just tank everything.
Yeah, because
States' rights.
Ken doesn't have incentive to help you not win it.
No.
He is not.
But you do have a strong incentive to pull it out of the landslide by double supporting Charles or Felix
Yes.
and
No.
then making that vacancy. So,
I'm not even that thrilled about it being a landslide since I'm not winning it. So.
no. Edward's
You
doing
said it's 3
too
points if it's a
well.
landslide.
Yeah, I mean, 3 points is better than.
1 point.
I guess the disparity remains the same between the first and second, no matter what. So.
Yeah. So for you, it's either 1 more point over me or 3 more points over
Let's
me.
roll
Yes.
20s die. You might feel good about yourself.
But I'm just gonna do a regular retirement.
Nice. All right, and you have 4 or lower on a 6-sided
Going here
die.
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, well, no, because what other free speech? I could just kill that guy for free speech. That's just
Yeah.
1 movement.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't go necessarily into the worst
Right.
possible spot.
Yeah.
Sammy?
Yeah.
Sammy's done. Speech is up.
D-U-N done. Deuces, Sam.
Also guarantees an elevation, which.
Yes.
All right, Orange.
All right.
Okay. So.
They saved you Lou. You can get in on Lou.
They did.
Or you can shut him down.
I think. So, I hate spending influence at that premium level.
It is a
Too tight.
Yes.
No.
And that is what I'm trying. I try and dissuade you from
Right.
that. Exactly.
Sure. So I could. Yeah, I think what I'll do is spend 2 influence to come in here.
Wait, that's against my great grandfather and
Yeah.
his mail.
Yeah. Well.
Talia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
The winds aren't blowing that direction.
that's
Well,
fair. Yeah,
that frees up my advocate opportunity here. So I think it would be 2. No, it'd only just be 2 to join on
Jones?
Jones.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. We'll go ahead and go there. That'll be 2 influence.
You guys have
And
a weird government. No National Labor Relations Board. No speech.
So
You guys are making for a weird world.
my only reasoning, follow me through on this, we're about to lose 3 influence.
Yep.
We are.
I'd like to use all of
Yeah,
my
you
yeah, use it if you got it.
So I'm going to spend my 2 influence.
Enjoy
So-
them.
so go now.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense, right?
Sure.
Wow.
Okay.
But it also means no one gets any points.
It does mean that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment, no, you'd all get second place.
We'd all
points.
get
You just
second place
bumped out
points.
from
Okay.
first.
We
It's
all get
effectively
second
nothing.
place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think someone else is going to advocate there. Or currently, you're all losing, which is pretty funny. Right? You're all on the losing side of history.
Hey, Rocky,
I mean, but not.
Barely.
Kevin owns and runs Fort Circle Games. He knows he's fishing. We've already explained it already, Kevin. You don't need to fish.
They come from a beautiful game called Votes for Women. You can go to fortcircle.com and order it today.
I'll add one to a candidate.
Help that cash flow so we can print more copies of this game.
Charles Hughes.
Charles Hughes.
I don't like.
Okay. Blue, you have your supreme action.
Yeah, I don't like. So that is going up 1. And I can't law review. Oh, that's so frustrating.
You could retire so that Melville gets on the bench.
Yeah, but the problem with that is... Well, hold on, wait. 3... Well, oh, actually, that does work.
Yeah.
It does. Okay.
You kill either 2 purple or 2 orange.
Because
the clerks get buried with the justice.
yeah, so... Let's...
It depends what you want more.
Yeah, and that's the killer here. Is... I think I want... Yeah, let's...
I think you want Baldwin because Charles as Chief Justice is not good for you.
That fact, it's not just the placing, it's the removing, so that goes.
Sorry,
So
Greg.
Commerce comes up 1.
Sorry. That's still an action.
That is true.
And
He
those
wants you to
can go
feel
away
good
now.
about him during this
There you
last
go.
action.
Done.
Oh.
Oh, do you think Melville's getting on the bench?
Oh, no!
Melville ain't going nowhere.
Oh, no!
Oh, dirty.
Wow, that was dirty. So
All right.
we have 2 vacancies. You always elevate the most supported and the second most supported if there's 2 vacancies.
Yes.
Yep.
Speech comes up 2, Eagles up 1, Equality up 1, and now this is a tie, but it's broken with the higher justice winning the tie. And so that brings Equality up 2 more.
Wow.
Commerce down 1. Everything's changing. Speech is up 1. And our least supported justice, Melville.
Oh, at least I get him back.
Get it back so you
can use it again. Okay, we deal out.
That was dirty.
Taft,
Well done.
Sutherland,
Well
and
done.
Hugo.
I can't be too butthurt over that.
No,
That
it was too
great.
clever.
That was clever.
All right, so
What really annoys me
deal
though
out
is
these cases. Wow, so this was going to be a landslide for
Yeah, I tried.
Speech, but now it's narrow. It is 3 points for blue again.
That's
A point
glorious.
for orange.
Hold on.
Yep.
That's 3. That's 2.
You all lose 3 influence. So
Or
purple,
in my case, 1.
purple feels good about this.
Yep.
Blue pretty good. Orange less good.
It's okay.
Now, starting with orange, you could write an opinion from speech justices. Might want to spend some of these guys for points. You can spend
These
all
guys
of them.
I feel pretty good about.
Chief Justice.
And you know,
not long for this world.
well, so it's interesting. Like he rolls a 6, so he can stick around for a while.
But these all 3 could come up 5.
I mean, yes. It's like a 1 in 10,000 chance that happens. Sure, okay.
I mean,
Spend all 4 of them.
I think I will spend 1 of the
One.
Tanny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now blue, you could spend them from people with speech. James Wayne is the only one,
I am still in last, aren't
no
I?
matter what. You won't be an exclusive last if he writes a dissent, though. So you might want to stick around.
Actually, I think he does want to write the
Probably.
dissent.
You
because,
always want to
because
of the scoring at the
the
end.
4
Yeah.
point. Yeah, no, I will not.
All right, and either Felix or Pierce can write the dissent.
I mean, I'm going to take it from
Felix.
Felix. Yeah.
Okay.
So you get a point,
'Cause
you
I-
get a clerk back, you get a dissented
I saw what
t-shirt.
happened the last time I had 2 folks on one.
Blue gets another case. Okay, guys, he's 1 away from the set. If he gets the set,
Yeah.
he has a very good chance of winning. He just needs an equality case. So try not to let that
Like
happen.
there or there or.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you're going to be winning here, but
Yeah, I hear
all
you.
right.
We'll see.
So we did the decision, and now we have an era 3 on top of the deck. So we're going to do Ancient Aging for our S's and our 1s. So we have an S, a 1, a 1, a 1, and that's it. Now we roll the 3d10.
Yeah,
pass
we
the
only
gavel.
need 2 5s.
Yeah.
Which I got last time.
3, 4,
9, 3, 4.
9. Oh wait, Bushrod finally meets his demise. 3, 4, and 9. Bushrod moves equality down 1 when he leaves the bench. It undoes some of his effect. And now we've done the aging step. We don't need to moderate. We did just pass the gavel.
That's right.
And now we catch up this deck by throwing out these 2 cases. So we have Era 3 on top of both decks.
Yep.
And you're all going to throw out a philosophy goal. You're deciding who you were all along.
Y'all look down for a moment. Here we go. That's who we are.
Win or lose, I know
Okay.
who's.
Okay.
Now you know you can get up to 9 points by getting those tracks to perfectly match your goals here.
Yes.
And Edward's going to start us off on
Yep.
round 3.
And
Era 3, first round.
I know it's... Oh, Taft is out there, huh? All right.
Taft is the only person in the game who only affects 1 track. He moves the president's power way up.
I wonder why.
He's the only person to serve as both president and justice.
And let's just go ahead and do this. We're going to advocate. Oh, I can't.
You need some energy.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you gotta have at least a little influence, pal.
He was going to go in on Brown. I know what's happening. I guess you're gathering influence. I'm just here to spoil all your plans.
You know what?
Yeah, if he gets out of quality of case, he's sitting pretty.
You know what? I will take my 7 influence.
Yeah.
5, 7, done. Go.
I don't want 7 influence.
You want it to? There is a way to have it.
Yeah, you're right there. It's within the rules.
I'm saying I don't want to take 7 influence.
Yeah.
I don't like taking influence.
Yeah. Then just always advocate for the loser on the case that's in the discovery.
There you
That's
go.
what I was
Problem
trying to
solved.
do.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Rocky. We'll see you
And they-
later.
They denied me.
We're monsters.
Yes, you denied free speech. Demonstrably so.
All right, so let's see. I probably want to get in on one of these lovely justices. Let's go Taft.
Okay.
That's the rules.
So we're going to go ahead and...
Oh, shocking.
So that's going to be a total of 2 influence.
Isn't it 3?
No, he's going on Brown.
Oh, you're on Brown. I see.
He needs an equality case.
Mm.
Done.
Gonna advocate, and it's gonna cost me 1.
Okay.
Go to Rosen.
Rosen!
Okay. Ken?
All right. I will also advocate. This one costs 3.
You're joining the losing side? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Joining the losing side.
Although Sutherland could help with that situation. Yeah, 3. That's not bad.
Interesting.
And if Jones wins, you'll all draw another philosophy goal card and then immediately discard 1. So you'll have another chance to sort
Option.
of
Yep.
think about your
If
life.
it wins.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that. Yep. So that costs 3.
All right, last action of the round. Blue is up.
Yeah, I think the obvious choice is go ahead and advance the robing room.
Oh. Moving up Brown.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, it makes it a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, gives Rosen more
So-
time to get his case in order.
Get his things in
Yeah,
order.
yeah.
Right.
Rosen gets the order.
Yeah.
Like, you push down. Cool. Not what I expected. But I'm not against it either. Do I retire the old man? Do I care about that being capped off?
Only if it's bad for your philosophy, Cole. Yeah, maybe you get rid of Tawny. Or maybe you double support somebody.
Right. Because putting it all on that is funny.
If you all are enjoying the stream, certainly appreciate if you like and subscribe. It really does help the channel.
Hugo.
And if you go to firstmondaygame.com, that will auto-direct you to the Kickstarter, where
Why would this be? I don't understand.
you can secure
'cause-
a copy for yourself. We're trying to get to 1,000 pre-orders. We're getting
What
there,
was funny
so
about it?
we'd love your support on this labor of love.
Go so.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do this one. I'm going to double support
Hugo.
Hugo. You still have your double support, but that just means
Can't
that
support.
Oh,
Can't.
you already use it.
Can't support, yeah.
Cool. Then Hugo's going up unless you retire somebody, or just Hugo's going up.
Hugo's going up.
Right. Hugo's likely to go up.
They can't even get borked.
Yet. I can.
But you could remand this forward.
I could, but it would lose.
Yep. Never mind that. Don't worry. Fine. Be that way.
So what I think I'll do instead is move this by 4.
Commerce.
Yeah. I'm gonna move equality
Equality.
down by 4.
Down by 4, even though you're advocating for New York.
Because it's still going to win.
1, 2.
But it prevents me from getting 5 points on a landslide.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
I don't.
So
no,
what
I
is
don't
the title of this article, good sir?
I don't see why that's better.
Because it's also hurting me here.
That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But
Okay.
if Edward wins this case, he has the set, and you all need to prevent that. So that was a very smart move.
And that's 5 points.
All right. So we're gonna throw out George. We're gonna elevate Hugo. That's gonna bring Eagles up 2.
Yep.
Commerce up 1,
Yep.
and Equality up 1. Taft gets another chance, and he's joined by Clarence Thomas and Anthony Kennedy over here.
So we're in the third
We
era.
are in the third era, which can come out in all sorts of orders.
Yep.
Between 1955 and 2009. Okay, Prince comes up. Now we're going to decide this case. It is a very narrow victory for New York. 3 points for purple, 1 point for orange.
Yep.
And
It's an equality case.
yes, it's an equality case, so purple can write opinions using Felix or Hugo, any of those 3, to get points, but you currently have the most on the bench, so maybe you don't want to do that.
Do you feel good about... Well, hold on. Can I be 5, 10, 12, 14... Yeah, Edward's got the most. This is a tough one. I think I'll take off with Felix, just in case.
Felix for a point, and then orange, you want to take one off or stay tied for first? You could have Charles write an opinion.
I could have Charles write an opinion. That's interesting.
He looks like a man who has opinions.
He has so many
I think I'll
opinions.
stay sole first. I'll stay sole.
No, you're not
tied for
sold.
first.
You are tied for
Oh, because
first.
Greg
currently.
chose not to. Yeah,
Yes.
so I'll... what would Greg do if he could do it next time?
What would Greg do? He would hurt you over here.
I'll leave it on. I'll leave
All
it
right.
on.
So the case effect, because we have freed all of the enslaved people that were brought through New York State on their way to Texas. The justices are feeling a little hale and hearty, and they all get a little bit less aged. That's the case effect here on
He's still
He's still pretty aged, though.
Yeah,
Just to be clear.
Purple gets this. Purple gets these
Oh,
back.
wait, what's that?
Oh, what does he need? He just needs...
He needs an eagle.
He
Speech.
needs Rosen versus USA.
Oh,
Oh.
things are happening. Okay, so now we're going to age.
Yeah. Okay.
You can roll the 3d10.
I've been paying attention.
Go ahead. Good.
Auto
I got you.
edge. S's and our ones.
5. 1, 3, 5.
Yeah.
1, 3, 5.
All right, Alfred, 3 and 5. Tawny's not quite dead yet. Not dead yet.
So
But
that goes down by
Alfred brings the
1,
Eagles down
right?
by 1. Yep.
Yep.
All right, so now we will not moderate. We will pass the gavel. And
Thankfully.
purple will start the round.
All right, go for it.
He needs brown. He needs Rosen. You need to stop both of those.
Hopefully I'll have some help.
Yeah. He should help you deny him brown.
Yeah.
And then
And I clearly am motivated to help stop Rosen. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just think the mail needs to be clean.
I mean, clearly it
Yeah.
should be.
Do you have other concerns?
Trading up. Yeah, well, he does. Justice, I'll trade you up.
Thank you.
You have
I'm going to return the
silver.
Chief Justice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, the Chief Justice with a basic retirement. You do successfully roll a 6 on a 6-sided die.
Up 2.
Up 2, and then speech up 2.
And speech
Flips it to Rosen. Let's go, Rosen.
Okay, I feel like you're biased in that.
I am a little bit
Yeah,
biased,
right. Okay,
yeah.
all right. Ken?
Someone's going to be on my
Alright.
team.
So, I'm going to take influence, because I need influence.
I hear that's important.
Just 4, though.
I think that's what we need to do. That's the only problem with that. Is they stop that. There's
So you could support
that.
Kennedy.
Yeah, I
You could
know,
Move
yeah.
up in the roving room.
Yep. This is. It's where do I want my Supreme Disc to be used?
Hopefully, you're pulled in a few directions.
So I think I go there, and there. Okay, got it. So let's go ahead and just pop it.
He doesn't actually have the red X's anymore.
I do. Oh, yeah, I do, don't I?
No, you're tied with orange.
Not anymore. That happened during this round.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right. So 1, 2.
Nice. Okay.
So I get to set a die when
When we
that
do the turn.
comes
Yeah.
to
Yes.
be. So we'll go ahead and just let that hang out right there. And then I get to move 3 onto the bench.
No. Move 3 that are on the bench. So
Oh.
you get to like take these 2 purples and put them on like someone who's feeling kind of sick or roll 3-sided dice.
Oh, in that case, my bad. I misinterpreted that. We'll just do that. That's fine. Done.
Yeah. So this is add 1 to the bench.
Yeah,
This is
yeah, yeah.
move
No,
3
no.
that are on the
I
bench.
remember it from our last game. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, is that when I moved
Great.
your guys to the
Yeah.
dead guy? Yeah.
Yes.
Advocate.
Yep.
And I will... If I don't spend anything, I can go on USA, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So you guys don't care as much about the
Saving yourself here.
yeah.
I'll put a lot of work into that.
I know.
Oh, no, I'm planning on saving myself. I just didn't want to do it right away.
I mean, you just double support Kennedy and you're in good shape.
Well, or maybe even single support Kennedy,
Maybe.
because there's 2 justices coming out, right?
That's true.
So I think that's probably the right thing.
Okay, blue's up.
Don't love what that does to this, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, I think that's glorious.
I know you like it.
I do. I like it a lot. I will. The order of operations matters here. I will advocate. Let's make sure I'm thinking of this right. I am. Question is which one? I think we let Ken have that one. Yeah, I'm good with that. So that's going to be 4.
Doubling down on Brown?
Yep.
Yeah.
So 4 influence.
Otherwise, you're inviting someone to just
Yeah, let's
scoop
not-
it from you.
They're going to come at me, but they're not going to come at me that way now. So I'm okay with that. All right, Greg.
Well, I was going to add to candidate.
Support a candidate?
Support a candidate.
Which is something you can still do.
I still want to do. But I can also write a law review article, and I have the most.
You do.
Oh, yeah. A 4 strength article.
Yeah.
Can help everybody dissent in Brown versus Board of.
Education of
Oh, was that
Topeka.
Board of Education? Oh
Yes.
man.
Go ahead. Fine. Be that person.
Or you could help Rosen send his mail.
I am considering
I see what you did there,
helping
by the
Rosen
way.
send a mail, though.
He has letters and such.
Mostly because I really would like to win that a lot more than I'm worried about Edward winning the other one. And we technically have time still.
We do.
But getting this further up
Okay.
is not a bad idea, so we're gonna
1, 2, 3, 4. The mail should be free and open
Yeah.
to anything.
Open up those letters.
Okay.
Get your
and-
bread out to rub off the,
Right, yeah.
the lamp black. All right, Orange.
So, I guess I'll have to rely on Edward to help me work on this one next time. We still have a little time on it. I will also write a law review article.
Is it about Congress?
Yeah.
Feeling a little bit?
Well, no,
okay?
actually, that should be okay.
Okay, yeah. Probably,
Right? I
yeah.
think that's going to work out fine. I
So-
can't even see an aging situation where that goes badly.
Okay.
I guess Edward could screw with it if he really wants to, but I don't know.
So it's about speech?
I think it's about equality.
Equality. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, smart.
Right.
1, 2,
yeah,
3.
Ken's more worried about, again, next round.
Yeah, he's doing
Yeah.
your dirty work for you.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I didn't say I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I just said I don't think right now is the right time. And I also don't mind William Taft getting 8 presidential bumps because what's he gonna do with it?
Yeah.
He's not.
Ooh. Kennedy. Okay.
Yeah, see, that's what I wanted to see.
So,
And that was always going to be the plan. That's why I saved that.
Kennedy moves commerce down 1, 2, 3, 4. Equality up 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
William Taft moves this up
One.
to the end of the track.
Yep.
And we get 3 new justices. We get William Wincrist, Sandra Day O'Connor, and Potter Stewart. You know it when you see it. All right. Now we appeal all of our cases. And we have a loss. No, sorry. We need to
That
flip
just
that.
flipped.
That
Yeah.
just
Flip
flipped.
that.
Yeah.
And those are all 5.
yes, yeah.
We have a win for Orange, who gets 3 points.
And we get
Tie for
nothing.
second is nothing. But you all do get another philosophy goal and immediately discard 1 as the case effect here. Not working out.
Not so much. That's
Not feeling it.
nah.
And
Yeah,
then
that one is
starting
it
from
is
purple.
worse
Do you
than
want to
this
spend any
current
clerks on
one.
opinions?
Oh, opinions. That's money. Yeah, who's money?
You are in last right now. Either way, you can spend up to all of these. You can just go to none on the bench and get 3
It's
points.
3 points.
Let's do it.
That's awesome. I like that move. That's power play. Here you go.
Oh, yeah.
Then Orange, you have 3 guys you can spend if you want. Or you can
No.
just-
Oh, yeah. Orange can't.
Black
Yes.
eyes.
Yeah. I cannot.
You can spend these guys.
Oh, they are there.
Orange can spend up to 3.
I'll spend this one.
Yeah, that D3 is scary.
I'll spend this one as well.
Oh, okay, blue.
Well, I can spend 1 and have super majority, right?
Yep.
You have super majority, yeah, exactly.
And
Well, you want to
Orange
spend
gets
that
the
one and
third.
not that one?
This doesn't have commerce on it, so we
Yeah.
can't.
Oh,
we
never
can-
mind. Never mind. Oh, it has to be.
Yes.
All right, so we've done the decision step. Now we age, so you can. Oh no, someone sets the D10.
I
Blue,
do.
You set a D10.
And let's see. I am blue, so let's. Taft is feeling a little. It's from his time in the Philippines.
Okay. So
Is
you
that a
roll a
1?
1 on
Yeah.
that die, and the
Yeah.
other 2 dice you roll.
Here we go. Here, please.
Okay. We get a 5 and a 5. Anthony Kennedy.
Whoa, whoa.
You're welcome, purple.
Wow.
Okay. We
That was
do
aggressive.
moderate. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
We pass the gavel. And orange takes our first turn
Here we
here.
go.
And purple, you can go ahead and lock those up.
Have a good one, BIG. Thanks for hanging out.
All right, let's see here.
Well, the good news is a lot of these guys got golden.
There's a lot of gold coming out.
What are you gonna do? So Greg can't take the law review action.
Correct.
Edward gets
right.
the boosted version.
Yep.
Let's see.
Edward really wants to win this case. It's worth a ton
Yeah.
to him. If you guys could work together
Yes,
to deny
he
it.
does. Yeah, I know. I think we could.
Oh, I think you can. I mean, I would lose 6. Oh, golly. Okay.
You'd have to team up, though.
How do I prevent that?
You convince them to go fight over Rosen.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Well,
There's
so
just no way.
a way to start is to go here because
Okay,
that's
Yeah.
helpful too. The cause.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it.
Greg could maybe think about retiring Anthony Kennedy
Yeah.
with his action.
I could either do the super action or I could 3 and 4 it.
3 and 4 it.
Yeah, if he does a basic retirement, he just
Yeah.
needs a 3 or lower.
And then
Is
you
he
can
feeling
do the
lucky?
death knell if I mess up.
If you whiff. Maybe you want to get in on one of these cases.
Yeah, I mean... Well,
I mean, you could start with a super article on equality
I think that's where we have to. So that's going to be
to
4.
force them to really work.
1, 2, 3, 4. And
Yep.
it forces your hand, but
Right.
it all but basically makes this round a wash because I know maybe it won't be,
I
but
don't know. It's going to be hard for them to flip. But, I mean, I guess if this one
That's
retires,
2.
that's 2. And then if this gets the
That's
seat,
6.
that's 4. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but it's not done.
Yep.
It's not done.
Right.
It puts them, gives them some work to do.
I hate all these candidates. This is where I wish I had done that so I could see.
Yeah.
And be like, nope.
I mean, Rehnquist is good for you.
To answer your question, Aaron, if you have supermajority, so using this gets you 3, but if you have the exclusive most, you get a +1. So I got 4 bumps instead of just the 3 with
Oh
that.
yeah, I want to be on that sort of.
So that's one of the
USA.
reasons to be shaping the composition of the court.
Right,
rather than
and that's why I kept that 1 extra.
Take 4 influence.
Are you serious, Greg?
Oh, that's glorious.
You are flat out killing me.
See, you just need them to hate each other and you'll be fine.
I will spend 2 to go on
Nixon.
the rotten side of
Your friend
versus USA.
Nixon.
You smell that? Oh, that's rotten. Terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case,
But +1 action next round. Hey.
And this is actually a misprint, but we're gonna play it as printed because in the actual version it's gonna be -1
That-
action here and +1 action.
That
down
seemed
there.
more in line with what you did before. Yeah.
But we're gonna play it as a,
okay, so there's nobody that helps with that. That's really what I wanted to do, but I can't.
you could move all of your people to
Yeah,
help
yeah,
your
yeah.
people.
Well, see, that's what I was just looking, but the problem is nobody has that is on the healthy side of things. Oh, Charles does, doesn't
Yeah.
he? There it is.
Frail.
That's what I was lamenting. So I will go ahead and move 3. So we will go 1, 2, and we'll go ahead and get off old Tony.
Go to the Happy Hot Dogs.
You know what? I think actually,
that D6.
on second thought, I think that makes more sense because
Okay.
D6 done.
And now you have the Sword of Damocles.
Yes.
Alright. Retirement.
There it is. Okay, roll a 3 or less on the 4-sided
Assuming
die.
you wanted Anthony Kennedy.
Oh
right?
yeah, and Kennedy.
Yeah.
All right, come on, one time. Using my one time, a 4. 1.
No, you used it though.
I did. So down 2.
Down 2 and commerce up 2.
Everything on the federal side.
So it flips over.
Yep. Okay, orange. Last action of the round.
Okay, and so right as we are, Rehnquist is going to bump that down 4. Yeah. And there aren't other retirements that can bump it up. Interesting. So I really don't need to... I was thinking I might need to write a law review article with this action, but I really don't need to, I don't think. I don't know what Edward's planning to do, but I don't see a way for him to get out of this.
I'll save you the work. There isn't.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll write a different law review article. We'll start working on Greg.
Speech is
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
Speech should be decided by the states.
Yeah.
right. So to be
It's a state's issue.
right, yeah. To be clear, taking influence obviously doesn't affect that. Adding more onto a losing cost, that doesn't help me. Aging out, there's nothing that increases this.
Yeah.
You've already used your article.
And supporting the candidate, literally they all are terrible. So it's moot. So I think the only thing...
Maybe if your eggs all weren't in one little basket.
Well, I thought I was able to prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
I have guessed poorly. So, for influence. Get ready for next round.
Yeah.
So that's going to go down 4.
Lick your wounds and
Yeah, pretty
come
much,
back for
yeah.
next round.
That's going down 4 to gold.
Yeah.
Going into gold.
Cool.
So you did all the work for him. I feel like purple really mooched there.
Yeah, P did really move.
Ornaments.
Oh no!
Yes.
You did not just do that.
Yes. Saw it coming. All right.
That's why I
That's
gathered the
it.
influence on my first
Oh,
action.
God.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just stabbed him in the front.
That's fine. I mean, it's better than him getting a set,
1,
so...
2, 3, 4.
4.
Potter Stewart doesn't make it on the bench.
This is me hedging my bets of maybe I don't get the set.
Harry Blackman and Thurgood Marshall. Oh, there you are. Where were you last round, Thurgood?
Little too late. Ollie
Yeah.
McClung and his barbecue.
Yes.
All right. So you all did work together, and you should feel bad about what you've just done.
Hold on. I would like this pointed out. Hold on. You see what they pushed for, right, people?
They're
Look
bad.
at that.
They're bad people.
Here,
Yeah.
let's be clear. You wanted the Board of Education to win. You were terrible human beings.
Yeah.
They're bad.
And I'm bitter.
They're
Okay.
bad people.
It's not like I clerked for him.
Yeah, he actually did the work. Very bad.
It's true.
So it is 3 points for purple.
So I didn't elect him.
You could write a dissent.
You betcha.
Now you're going to write a dissent.
We'll take one of
Peter Black could write a very powerful
There you go.
dissent
Yes.
here. You get a point. Did you get a point?
No,
There you go.
I want my mug. Okay.
Purple can't write an opinion, but the case effect, because of this, is the counterfactual result. It goes all the way to the bottom of the track. Purple gets the card.
Whoa.
So that'll really
Terrible
change
humans.
subsequent cases. It might help some people's philosophies, and like the Georgia Attorney General's office. That's going to go there.
Princess.
Prince flips.
Yep, it does.
Yes, it does. Eagles, speech. Okay. We now will age, so you can set one of the d10s
Yeah.
and then roll.
Um,
One.
Do you want to get somebody out of here? Mr. 8.
get
Either 7 or 8.
no, get Rehnquist going.
Okay, and then roll the other 2d10.
2 and 4.
Benjamin and Felix.
All right.
We do moderate, because this is all the way at the bottom. We pass the gavel.
Yep.
I'm so bitter
And
right now.
this is
Okay.
the penultimate turn.
Okay.
Because the deck has 2 cards in it. And so, yeah.
Unless, oh no, it's only checked right here. So this still could be
It
the
could be the last turn.
round.
If he draws 3, discards 1 from the cases deck,
Right.
then this would be the last round. But this is
Okay.
likely the second to last round. So you probably have 6 actions before the end of the game. One rule I didn't explain during the teach, my bad, is that at the At the end of the game, you will resolve adjudication like normal. You'll score the case here like normal. In the check error step, you'll see that one of the decks is empty. That is what will trigger the end of the game. And during final scoring, you will also score the 2 cases in these 2 slots. So you'll functionally score 3 cases in the last round. These 3 cases, presumably. And if this were the last round, then Katzenbach v. McClung would not be scored.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get in on that. So that's going to be, I believe, 5?
With just 1 clerk?
Yep.
Yep.
7.
4, 5, 6, 7can
No.
Oh, on the losing side?
Yeah.
Okay, 5.
On the currently losing side.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Can we get to...
Yeah. He's clearly winning.
Wow, he has 21. You have 18. You also have points.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have 17.
Yep. All right.
Oh, wow. Okay, 21, 18, 17. Pretty close.
So...
But a speech case for purple would almost certainly help lock that up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wins if he wins that.
Yeah, I could just ignore it and try and win the other ones.
Yeah.
It's funny because in our last game, 2 people had complete sets of
Yes.
cases, and in this
Yep.
game, it's certainly possible that nobody will.
Yep.
I think usually nobody does, but that's because you're sort of fighting to deny it.
I'm gonna take 4 influence.
Yeah.
All right.
Bide your time.
No, not by my time. I need them.
Need them.
You need them. For what, my friend?
Yeah, tell us.
For advocating.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
It's not by my time.
really
it's-
hate the idea of taking 1 more influence action. I would love to get out of this game without doing it again.
Prince is cheap.
So the way we're set up now, Greg has control over whether the game ends this round or not. But
Yeah.
if it doesn't end this round, this one will score.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
All right. So then I need to wait on my advocate action, I think.
You also have the ability to remand it into position.
Sure. I will. What's going to happen here? Retirement. Edward can retire somebody. I don't see how those really help. What would that do? No. Not really. No. Okay. So I could age somebody out. None of these are exciting for me. Man. Alright. Well.
After all this, he's going to gather influence.
It is definitely something I'm thinking
for
about.
influence.
Yeah.
Called it. This is a tense turn because of the potential for it to be the last one. I don't think it will be, but because he'd have to use his Supreme Disc purple to trigger the end.
And I'll see. Not super sure that I don't want to have these 2
Score.
score.
Yeah. I see that.
I think. Oh, it's such a risk.
No risk, no reward.
Yeah, but
No reward, no
Some
reward.
risk, some punishment.
yeah, something like that. So I don't know what the right answer is. I think we rolled the dice quite literally.
Quite.
Oh,
Alright.
Bill.
Bill Vanquist,
Yep.
50-50 shot.
Yep.
Okay.
1 or a 2.
You
Yeah.
did it. You got him. All right, Commerce moves up 2, and we have a vacant chief seat.
Okay.
And that also puts you in the super articles situation.
I did notice that.
I've just told them.
Thank you.
Oops. I'm not getting invited back. I just tell everyone what's happening. I'm helping the people at home understand the game state a little bit.
Yeah, well, this is tense, but keep it moving.
Advocate.
Right. Yeah.
On behalf of Nixon.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Wait.
Yeah.
3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lot of Nixon fans here.
And by a lot, you mean that side over there.
Yeah, that whole
gotcha.
side
Yeah.
of the table.
Okay.
All right, Orange.
All right. Well, we need to adjust the judicial philosophy a little bit. And a way we could do that would be...
Supporting.
Oh, hold on. Before you do that,
Yeah?
you realize I would choose someone else.
But this is the only one that does this.
Yeah, he's trying to help you prevent him from getting the speech case.
Do you see how this is the only one that does that?
Yes.
So what are you talking about?
He's threatening to bork the only thing that stops
No,
purple.
I can't bork it. He's right. I forgot about that.
In fact, you might need to write an article about how speech is a little bit out of control.
Right, because Greg still has his hammer, although he can't write articles, but he can do other stuff. Like auto-retire somebody.
Yeah. Someone who loves speech.
Yep.
I don't think I need that. What I can do.
Sandy will do it double, so
Yeah.
purple might not have a way to win that case.
Yeah. I think that pretty much guaranteed it. I guess he could support a candidate that is not Sandra.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could double support Blackman.
So who or they're good, but
Thorgard's less likely.
Yeah. You gotta write this article if you don't want him to have the set.
Do it, Edward. Do it.
Maybe his philosophy likes equality though. Or speech, sorry. I don't think they do. Let's look.
1,
No.
2, 3, 4.
4! Whew.
Oof.
My
Oof.
goodness.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I
okay.
gave up on that 2 turns ago.
Yeah, but you were about to win it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would have won it by doing what you're doing right
Yeah.
now if I didn't do
You
that.
might have given up on it, but you were going to win it without that
Yeah.
article.
Yeah, I mean, you could have also retired anybody.
No, I couldn't. I've already done it.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe
all
it's
right.
limited.
So,
oh, no, Orange gets.
I could
to go.
retire somebody.
oh,
but-
you could. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want Sandra Day to come in?
I mean, I think she'll come in eventually.
Okay. So, in other words, no. Okay.
I mostly just needed people on the bench.
You might want to advocate.
I'm thinking I do want to advocate.
Oh, it's a blast, Cole. We're loving it.
Because it's now clear that
When in doubt,
we're
bork it.
going through.
Yeah, so you can get in on Katzenbach or McClung.
Yeah. Or
Double up
I'm
on
just glad I
USA
have the hammer next round.
for the last round.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm glad that I don't have the hammer.
so this would cost 4, 5, 7. It costs all of my
2,
influence
4,
to do that.
5, 6, 7. Yep, and a point.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
And how many influence are we about to lose? 5?
Yeah, you might want to spend all your influence.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll just go over here and do this one instead.
Okay.
So that's 4, 5, 6, 7 to
No.
go.
No, he's got
Oh,
it there.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
that.
You can't have Edward have it.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't have. Nobody would have gotten it.
Oh, that's
Okay.
true. But he
But me getting a card is nice.
Yeah, cards are nice. All right, so we do elevate Harry Blackman to Chief Justice. This goes down 1, 2, 3, 4. This goes up 1, 2, 3, 4. Thurgood Marshall is not going to make it onto the bench this time. Antonin Scalia and William Brennan enter the fray. We do appeal these. We deal out Tinker v. Des Moines. We will decide Rosen v. USA. Sadly, Rosen can't send anything he wants in the mail. USA wins. 3 points for orange.
Thank
1
you.
point for blue.
Here, I can trade these in for a...
Everyone loses 5 influence because your speech rights have been hamstrung. And now, starting with blue, would you like to write an opinion using this person?
Yes.
Okay, there you go, there you go, there you go. Next is purple, a dissent.
Unfortunately, cannot.
Cannot. Orange cannot do anything. Orange gets the card, gets these. Tinko is currently losing to the Des Moines school board or school system. All right, so we've decided the case. We're now going to age. Edward gets to set a die again. Y'all letting him go to town on those dice.
All right, so let me think here for a moment.
Probably want to kill one of the Federalists.
Throw one on Harry, please.
Harry Blackman.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, roll the other 2.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's do it. 4 and 2. All right, Benjamin Cardozo. I think I rolled 2 and 4 last time.
I think you did.
We don't need to moderate. We're reasonably moderate. We pass the gavel for the last turn. We know that this deck's going to run out, so we know this is the final 3 actions of the game.
Yep.
Purple is going to go. We're going to
All
play
right,
through
here
the
we go.
round,
Yep.
do the adjudication, and then we'll score the cases here and here in addition to the case here. So it's probably these 3.
Yep.
Although this could get remanded in
Right.
by
Me.
somebody.
Yeah.
So you guys don't know which of these 2 is going to score. Only orange does. 3 actions. You don't have the X's anymore, though. You actually have the best articles now.
And in fact, the adjudicate case at trial, actually, I can make sure all 4 of them score.
Yes.
Oh. Cool.
Unlikely to happen,
But
but
you could
I
assert
could.
original jurisdiction over
Yes.
the case at trial in the adjudication phase.
And we haven't mentioned it, but these are dual layer, or this board is dual layer to hold those in place, by the way. So
I'm a big fan of that.
All right.
The board is sort of modular, so you can set it up to fit your table however you need to. You have this board and this board that don't fold. This with a single fold that lies incredibly flat.
God. So I gotta. If I win.
Good news. Nobody has any influence.
Yeah, so we all have to take influence if we want to
Advocate.
for any of the things. In order to advocate for to add any to those 2, I need a minimum of 4, 6, 7, and then
5.
5.
So
5.
you might need to take 7 influence to defend yourself.
Yeah.
they are very close spot, but I feel like Greg is
My money's on
clearly.
purple, but 21 to 20 to 20. Holy moly.
Here, Ken, swap out your
That is
5.
very close.
Yep.
There's a good amount of final scoring, though. We're going to score case breadth, depth, the bench, dissents, and
I'm
goals.
in the worst position right now.
You all have 1 dissent, which is really interesting. So there's a lot of points from getting a dissent in here, which would have to be on this case because there's no opinions or dissents on those 2 final cases.
Yeah.
Yep.
The bench is important. That's 5 points to whoever has the most on the bench. That's up for grabs. So I think it is definitely anybody's game. And then those goals can be worth up to 9 points. So, and these are tight.
I'd say 4 influence.
4. Okay, so he cannot defend himself on either of these 2 cases.
I am going to retire Harry Blackman.
Oh, wow. Okay, he
I support
is
this.
done. This moves up 2. That moves down 2. You do get these back, though, just in case.
Wait, why do that?
I have goals.
He has goals in life.
Okay.
He thinks that Sandy would make an excellent chief. Maybe. All right, Edward.
Yeah. Okay.
You have no cases.
I'm painfully aware of that.
But good news, you also have no influence.
Oh, yeah.
Ken.
Oh, you can have your red X's back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know. Okay, that is locked up. I know what that is now.
Okay. 4 influence.
Yep.
All right, purple. You got your influence.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use it.
You got your influence. You're gonna use it.
And I'm gonna go on to McClung.
McClung. Okay. Yeah. That costs 3.
That costs 3.
Ollie McClung. Ollie's barbecue.
Ken?
Got most of his meat from out of state.
Oh, man.
Kevin said the game I taught today was 49-39 or 40-39-38.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I don't want that to happen, but there's not that much I can do to stop it.
I'm not sure what you don't want to happen. Me winning both those cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, aka you winning the game. So, interesting. So interesting.
You can swap those two.
That's an interesting point.
No, I mean it keeps him from winning it because he can't. It won't score.
Yeah. The
It
problem is
does.
he either needs to go on Tinker and flip it, which is not super viable without Brennan, or go on Des Moines, but you don't have influence.
Right. I don't have influence.
You're in a tough spot here with 2 actions and no
I'm in a
influence.
tough spot. Yep.
And what you do dictates what I do.
I mean, you might just gather influence. So
I'm
you can
afraid
advocate
I'm
with the
afraid I
last
kind of
action.
have to.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that's what I kind of have to do.
Okay. Then I will support a candidate.
All right.
And
Very good for you.
that will be...
I mean, I guess Brennan would move
Yeah.
the $sign up twice where he elected Chief Justice.
Yes.
Oh, whoa. Oh, Sandy.
Now you gotta help me with Brennan.
But 3 and 3 means it's just a tie.
Yeah.
It's 2. All he can do is 1. I think he's got to advocate.
Wait, what?
If he puts 1 onto Brennan, then it's tied and Sandy gets the spot. You can create a second vacancy, but he's got to advocate, I think.
And where would I even advocate?
You could tie him on McClung.
Interesting.
Or you can't go ahead here, though. You need 5 for that, but you could tie him on McClung.
Yeah. That's just sort of betting that Edward doesn't figure out a way to stop this.
I'm gonna try like hell. It's gonna take me a moment, but I'm gonna try like hell.
I mean, you can move it 1 with a law review article, but that's not enough.
Sandy as chief is going to be real bad, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see a way to...
To make
That
McClung
drops it
lose.
to...
Yeah, so I think I might as well just try to join in the fun.
Oh, you know the way he does it. He can bork Sandy.
Oh, you can bork Sandy.
I was gonna just surprise him.
That-
Oh, sorry, I keep spoiling it. Oh,
That's interesting.
God. So then you advocate for Katzenbach.
Right, which is cheaper. And it doesn't give me a set
I'm
or
really
anything,
feeling bad
so,
that I
you know.
spoiled that surprise, because that was going to be so exciting.
That was...
All right.
Let's pretend I didn't say that. Can we, fix it in post?
Freddy is the devil.
So then that gives me
1 on Katzenbach.
only one. Only costs 1, right?
Yep.
Because I'm not co-counsel and... All right.
Not only does Sandy getting borked...
It's a surprise! What? We never saw this coming!
But here's the thing. It gives me the most seats out there.
It gives you 5 points.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Huge.
The
Yeah.
most, yeah.
It's the right play.
but
Even
you get them back.
You do get
Oh, I
them
do
back.
like it when I get them back.
You do get them back. 1, 2. Oh, it flips speech all the way to 4. Okay, commerce goes up 2. Eagles go down 2. You have a pretty moderate bench.
Yep.
All right, and you bring out Lewis Powell and David Souter. You appeal these cases. Deal out and New York Times v. Sullivan. USA does lose to Prince. Nobody is on the winning side of this case, which is epic. It means you all were just hating each other so bad you were
pretty
too busy
much.
punching each other to bother winning the case.
That's so bad.
But
Greg, would you like to dissent?
I can't.
Oh, you don't have any. You don't
Oh,
have
he has no
a dissent would be
clerks.
so
That's a toughie.
valuable. All right, so nobody gets any points. Because you have worked together to create a court that has struck down the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act, we're going to remove a random justice.
1.
1, so Taft has been,
Wow.
I guess,
So this is,
I mean, it makes sense that it was the Brady Act,
Yeah.
right?
all right, so nobody gets this card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now we
Go
don't
ahead.
do effects for the rest of these, right?
No.
Okay.
Or opinions or dissents, but we actually
All right.
don't do them until we get to the end game. So now we go to age. So you can set a die again, which could change the Eagles.
Oh, we could, couldn't it? Hold on 1 second. But also,
But it's just 1 point each of them, and if you have silver eagles on your card, you might want to.
no, I hear you. I think, let me see if I can figure out a way to make this work. It's gonna be Frankfurter.
Frankfurter, Felix, all right. See if you can roll.
I want the honor of rolling a
You want
4.
to roll a 4. You roll 2
There are
3s.
3s.
It's like a 4. Hugo Black gets a little older. Nobody does. We don't moderate.
I tried.
We do check. One of the decks is empty, which
Yep.
means we trigger the
Yep.
end game. We go to final score, and we score these 2 cases. Nixon is going to win. He gets to keep his subpoenaed recordings just barely. We're going to give a point to these 2 people because a tie for first is effectively second. You all get an extra action next round.
Great.
So
There
have fun
is
with
a
that.
way around it.
And nobody gets the card because you tied.
Yep.
Then we go here. Katzenbach is successful. Ali McClung has to desegregate his barbecue restaurant. And Orange is going to win 3 points.
Woo.
And get the card. There's no
And-
opinions or dissents on these finals.
And there's no supreme action next round.
No. And, okay.
Good to know.
Also, this is
keep it in.
crazy. You're the only one with clerks on the bench.
Yeah.
That's 5 points.
That's a lot of points. That's a big
So
separator.
So we
Five.
get.
Okay, here we go.
No one has a full
So-
set.
Nope.
Right, so nobody got a full set, right?
No one
so
got
nobody
one case
scores
of
that.
all the types.
That's right.
Multiple of the same icon.
So we have commerce is
I have-
Orange is going to get 2 points for having depth of experience in the commerce clause.
Yep.
On the executive branch, you both tie, so you're each going to get a point for having them tied for the most executive power cases. Speech is
One.
you
We
two
both
have
tie,
one. Okay.
Yep.
and then equality is all you, for better or worse. You're going to get 2 points. Now we're going to go to the bench, which is going to be
That's a nickel.
big 5 for blue. Now we're going to go to dissents, and this is weird. You've all tied.
So we get 0, right?
You all get 2.
But it's
Yeah.
effectively
It's
0.
effectively
Yeah,
0,
yeah.
assuming I do it correctly.
All right.
And now we go to goals. Let's start with purple. Who were you this whole time?
I was the Tribal Nations.
The Tribal-
So John, or wait, who was this? Who was it? Shrey. Was it Shrey? No, it was John.
Someone was
Only
Tribal
was
Nation.
Shrey.
No, who was our other in our
You
game?
don't know?
James.
James, yeah, the Tribal Nations.
He let them down. Let's see if
totally.
purple vindicates them. They did not succeed in weakening the executive branch. They did get some speech rights for 2 points, and they did not succeed at equality. So you get a grand total of 2.
You know what's really fun? I'm the reason why that's not even close.
Yeah. All right. Orange was.
I was the Department of Labor.
29.
So that's nothing.
Nothing.
That's 2
2,
points, and that's 2 points.
It's
So I'm going to give
a
you
very narrow
big
4.
5.
Yeah.
A narrow 4.
So what are you? What are the totals at?
Well, let's do it. Okay.
Okay. Well. Okay. All right.
Wait, why did he just get a 5? Oh, he's putting
Yeah.
those in. I don't want to.
I was the DOJ.
DOJ.
Of course you were.
So you get nothing for this. You've not succeeded in.
I was so trying.
close.
I tried.
Wait, you failed at everything.
Yeah.
I feel like that takes skill. That's hard to do,
So-
man. Yeah, we're gonna put that right there, just so you can remember.
Yes.
And that's the final. So, Purple, how many points you got there?
I got 29.
33.
33 for Orange.
29.
Oh,
You won it
I did.
Yeah.
with the fewest cases. Well,
Yeah.
no, you won that last
We're sort
one.
of sort of tied.
Yeah.
Wow.
But only Greg only had 4 case cards.
I think you flew under the radar because you were they were at each other's throats a little
Yeah.
bit here.
Whoa.
It was the very end. I king made.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. I king made. But I did it with the hopes that I was able to eke out the victory there
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Well,
It was
yeah, I mean,
close.
if you had been able to flip these, that's shocking. Yeah.
Well, having this drop, that's why I wanted the one who
Sure. Brown
Marshall to come in, because that would have boosted it 4 and get it closer and
Yeah.
whatever, it doesn't matter. Ah!
James had tribal nations.
Yes,
Well, they've
they've
again,
improved
The Department of
marginally.
Labor has emerged
Yeah.
successful at
Yep.
shaping the court to its whims with our closing
So
Chief Justice.
That's a weird counterfactual. I love it.
The Eisenhower appointee, William Brennan,
Yep.
as our Chief Justice. And, wow.
Yeah. So there we go. That's it's first Monday in October. Big thank you to
Thank
Talia
you.
for coming up.
Great
I
Thank you
appreciate
to all
it.
of you
Yeah.
for joining us for this game. It was
Yeah.
super fun to
Yeah.
see this play.
Yeah,
out.
so we played this twice today, and a lot of times that's going to feel like a lot. No, it really doesn't. It moved well. It was knife fights and phone booths both games.
Yep.
Thoroughly
I think it was
enjoyed
about
so.
2 hours and 30 minutes. Once we started, we were going
Yeah.
slower
Yeah,
and
yeah.
talking a lot, so you can really do this game in 2 hours. There is a mode where you can play just 2 eras instead of 3 eras. If you want a nice 75 to 90 minute game, and it works fine. You just cut out one of the eras, play 2/3 of the game, and then there's the solo mode that I've been working on that I'm having a lot of fun with. It's a very sort of puzzly solo mode where you're trying to shift these, and you have this deck, this bot that's working against you, and it works surprisingly well. So I'm really excited about it.
I'm glad you came out, and this was cool. This was hopefully it feels like it was worth it to you.
Absolutely.
And to Kevin, and thanks to everybody out there watching. Really appreciate it. Kevin, thanks for making this happen. Appreciate the work on your end and your patience as well. And to these guys that basically took a day,
Yeah.
an entire day, as well as John, James, Shrey. They were here earlier as well. So really appreciate it. Thanks to all the patrons. That's a wrap. We'll be back later this week with more streams. I'm Edward.
I'm Greg.
Ken.
And Talia.
All right, y'all have a great one. Take care. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye, y'all.